All right. Are we live? We
It
are.
looks like we are live. Sorry for anyone that was waiting on us. I know we were having a little technical difficulties, but
Yeah.
we are ecstatic to be here. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, we are just a couple minutes away from, I think, from the first pick. And so, Ryan, I'm
Yeah.
excited. We were talking about this a little bit already. But this is it's kind of a 1 year anniversary from when we first started the channel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a year ago, we decided that we were going to take our podcast off of just being a podcast and we were going to put videos on YouTube. And that is how this started. Our little opening video when you get to our channel is pretty much like the first video I think we ever did that we posted. So it's exciting stuff, and it's nice to reminisce on such a big day. I know I'm very excited for this. I hope you are as well.
Yeah,
So
it's great that the whole football community can come together and have the NFL draft on the 1 year anniversary of when we started the Tracy take. It really is an
yeah,
honor,
yeah,
and for them to honor this channel, and for
yeah.
everyone here that is watching this, we appreciate it. And if this is your first time here, we always love to. Just expand the community and expand our football fans, fan base, and people who love football just like us. And so, if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share this link, get some of your other football friends, and have them come. Sorry, I'm watching the draft now, and it was weird. I was taken aback. They just zoomed in on Aiden Hutchinson's inner jacket, and I was like, whoa, where is this going? And so, sorry, it took me aback, but definitely feel free to subscribe to this channel if you have not already. And Ryan, we're just it looks like just a couple minutes away from Jacksonville being on the clock. I know there's a lot of speculation. Are you buying in on the Trayvon Walker first round pick? Do you think he's going to be him?
I was going to ask you that. I don't think so. It amazes me a little bit how a guy can go from being like a middle of the first round pick to all of a sudden like a few tweets come out of like his highlights and everyone's like, oh, he's the new odds favorite for the number 1 overall pick. It's crazy to me. I still think Aiden Hutchinson is the proper pick. Trayvon Walker is not, to me, quite that same prospect. I think athletically he's far further than Aiden Hutchinson, but technicality and hand violence wise, I don't see.
Yeah, but do you think Trayvon Walker could? I mean, do you think that stuff is teachable? That stuff seems teachable, So I wonder if Jacksonville feels confident that they can already add to their front kind of core of guys and can rebuild. So it's interesting, and I know we've stated this a lot, but a year ago what was the first pick that we were debating on? The first number of pick. I think was it maybe.
I mean, 3 for a little bit. People debated on if they were going to take Trey Lance or Mac Jones.
True, but that was still, and that's fair. And so, but we knew it was going to be a quarterback. We knew San Francisco traded up. Here, it's amazing. They still could take a lineman. They still could take a corner here potentially. Maybe not, but still potentially. It's just amazing just to see all the different ways that this draft can go. And it'll be a fun video 5 years from now when we go back and rank this draft class and do a kind of what could have been.
No. And so I this draft to me is entertaining in the complete opposite way. I think last year a lot of franchises got their future quarterbacks, including the Patriots, which I'm very excited about. But 5 of the top 15 picks are quarterbacks. We kind of knew what was going on or what was going to happen. It was just kind of where teams going to trade up to try and get one, or what was going on with the teams moving around. And now it's kind of, well, who's going to go where? Who is the number 1 overall pick? Nobody has any clue. And I think that's what's so enticing about this draft. So I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
So you stole my question of, is Trayvon Walker going to be the number 1 overall pick, but I am going to one-up you. What do you think has better odds? Trayvon Walker goes number 1 or a quarterback goes in the top 10?
I think Trayvon going number 1. I personally think because if you look at it, especially when it comes to Carolina, there's a good chance that one of these 3 top offensive linemen are going to be available. And I think that they're going to take that instead of trading back. And then if you look at the other teams that are there, I don't think the Falcons are going to get a quarterback. I would like for them to not get a quarterback. Yeah. I don't think Seattle's going to get a quarterback, even though they potentially could. And then we know the Jets at number 10 is not going to get a quarterback. So I think it's more likely that Trayvon Walker gets taken number 1 than a quarterback taken in the first round. In the top 10.
See, so that's interesting for me because now, today I heard a lot of stories about how Detroit loves Malik Willis and that they might be willing to take him at 2 overall, sit him for a year behind Jared Goff, and then in 2023, Jared Goff has a void year in his contract. So if they cut him before, I think it's like March 15th next year, then he has no cap hit, and then they could have a smooth transition. To me, I think that seems like an interesting scenario. I still abide by the rule of if you think that guy is going to be the next guy, then you take him when you can.
Well, and that's what it's not. To me, it's like so if we compare it to last year, if we're looking at taking Trevor Lawrence, even if Trevor Lawrence doesn't pan out to the potential that we all think he could have, that still at the time was the right pick. Then especially after some evaluation, then Zach Wilson, then I think that was still the right pick. You have to take him in that instance. Here, though, I think so if they take Malik Willis at number 2, and then that's a big risk to take when there's a lot of other needs that you guys have. It's not like these teams who they definitely needed a quarterback or the talent was just so much better than the other positional needs that they had. So for me, I think taking Malik Willis, I could see them taking Malik Willis with their 2nd pick in the first round or maybe trading up a little bit. But here, I think there's too much value and this team needs so much on defense. They have all the top defensive picks there. Malik Willis, I think, would be an extreme stretch. And if they really wanted to move up, they have that 32nd and 34th pick. Maybe they can move up and maybe trade with New Orleans before Pittsburgh ends up picking, and if he falls that far. So I wouldn't like that pick. I personally, for any of the top 10 teams or all the teams picking in the top 10, I wouldn't like them taking I wouldn't agree with them taking a quarterback in my opinion.
I agree with you. I don't think it is the right move, but I think Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett, I think, are the only 2 guys in this class that I could see ever even achieving top 10 quarterback status in the NFL. Some of the other guys, I just don't see it. I think if the Detroit Lions have gotten a lot closer with Malik Willis than you and I have in the last 6 months. And so if they feel like he's that guy, I think it's hard to go against that pick. I get from a value standpoint that they need other things, but I think if that's their guy and that's who they want, I don't see an issue taking him at 2. I would not take him at 2 though, if it was me. So that's my take on it.
See, I just think I would. I'm not a Lions fan, so I think it'd be a very Lions thing to do is to take a quarterback with the 2nd pick. That is Liberty FCS or
no, they're FBS.
They're FBS. Yeah. Okay, so but
they came up a couple years ago, but they're FBS.
Okay, but they're still group of 5, mid-tier group of 5, and so
it looks like the draft is about to kick off. Can you hear that? Okay, should I turn it up?
I can't hear that. Okay, looks like we see a couple of the Raider stars here. Derek Carr walking up there with Roger Goodell.
The 22 NFL draft.
That's what I was wondering. I wasn't sure if I heard that correctly.
Yeah, I think you heard it right. I think, is your video frozen? Oh, no, there you are. Okay.
No. Yeah, right.
I guess you were just that still.
I'm that still. I'm a very still writer.
Yeah. You're like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, nothing goes over my head.
Yeah.
My reflexes are just too fast. What if the Raiders traded Darren Waller right now, like while he's on stage?
That would be awkward for like a first
that
round
would be.
pick.
I would love to see that. Yeah, Mr. Waller, we're going to need you to leave the stage right now. You are not representing the Raiders anymore.
Yeah.
As I look around at this fan section, I see the Raider fans right here in front of me, the Raiders Nation. And I see someone special right down here. Ice Cube. Cube, come on up here, baby. Come on. Everybody, Ice Cube. Come on, baby.
Jeez.
It is crazy to me how big of an event this has turned into. Like, if you think about it, was it 18 years ago?
Well, we were talking about that today. It's amazing. Like, I remember when this was a joke. Like, no one cared to watch it.
Yeah.
And even now, and I'm trying to remember, like, what changed? Was it the draft in Nashville? Like, when there was the first one away from New York City? But now this is like an event. Look how much taller even Roger Goodell is to Ice Cube.
Let's hear from the home plate, Derek Carr.
I like that haircut.
Yeah.
I like that haircut. So I'm curious, like, when do you think Jacksonville decided their pick? Like, do you think it was last night?
2 months ago.
You think it was 2 months ago?
Yeah, probably like late February.
Really? I don't know. I mean that's before the combine even. Like I could see maybe at the
after the combine. I thought the combine was late February. It was early March. So still, I'm gonna stick with a month and a half ago.
Excuse me.
All right. The Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, my one thing though, maybe because they didn't figure out James Robinson's contract issues right until a couple weeks ago. Actually, did they figure out his
James Robinson, the running back?
Sorry. Cam. Robinson.
Cam Robinson. Yeah, I thought they extended him.
And that's what they didn't extend him. Cam Robinson, Jaguars agreed to contract extension per report. Yeah, so that was from.
So I guess they did extend him.
Yeah, they did extend him. So, and so that was within. It seems like a couple of weeks ago, if I'm reading that correctly. But this is the part, as they're showing right now on the screen. This is the part that's really interests me. Is I don't think there's ever been this many teams with multiple picks in the first round, 8 teams. So it's very interesting. I'm very curious to see what Green Bay does, what Philadelphia does. I think Philadelphia's going to stay pat. I don't think that they're going to use any of their 2 picks to trade up or trade back. But I could see Green Bay or
Philadelphia
Kansas City
was going to use 2 picks to go up. They would have kept
they would've
the 3 picks and then gone up that way.
Yeah. Well, they still could have, if they felt like they could have, if there's a player that they really liked, they could have done, they could have traded up for him and used the 2 picks or maybe 1 pick and some extra draft capital while still then also having now 2 first-round picks next year. Because that's what they got, right? They got a first-round pick for next year.
Yeah. But that's my thing is like they would have just traded up with 2 picks and then had 2 picks this year.
Yeah.
In the first round after they traded up. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's my thing is I don't think that they'll trade up. I think if anything they'll go back from 19 and do that little shindig that they
I do no they're at 18, but I could
18,
see
yeah.
I could see them trading back if a team like Green Bay really wants a receiver or if a team who wants to maybe jump Pittsburgh, but I don't think there's any teams really behind Pittsburgh that would be wanting a quarterback. Tennessee was the only one that there has been some talk of that. Maybe Detroit because they had that 32nd, 34th pick. Maybe if they'd want to go trade up, try and get that quarterback before. But I'm trying to think if that is something that they would be interested in doing. I don't think they would be personally.
No.
It says what we talked about though. It says what we talked about though is it seems like a lot of their needs. There's going to be a lot of guys available there during that around that time frame or like at that portion of the draft.
Yeah, and so like I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think that they would if they don't take Malik Willis at 2. I don't think that they'll trade up from 32. So
no. But anyways, going now back to the first overall pick here. It looks like Jacksonville. As I get a little bit more comfortable here, let me zoom in there a little bit.
Your video is actually frozen.
My video frozen. Can you see me?
Yeah. Well, no, not right now. It actually just went away.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. You're just clear now. You're invisible.
Oh, I can see myself. Can you hear me at least?
Yeah, I can hear you still.
Okay, that's good.
And like your box of like where you would be is like shows up when you talk, but there's just no image.
Oh, there's no image. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Now your image is just black.
Just black.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see it there.
Oh, there you go. All right. Now
Perfect.
There you are. All right.
There I am.
All right. So the Jaguars are taking the entire time to make the pick that they've had 3.5 months to decide on.
See, so yeah, that's what I feel like they probably decided well before this. Not like, but I don't think they're using this time to debate right now. But
hey, the pick is in.
The pick is officially in. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Final thoughts. Who do you think it's going to be?
I think it's Aiden Hutchinson. It's too much of a no-brainer for me. Do our nifty the pick is in tag there down at the bottom. We will leave that up until it is announced. But I just think it's Aiden Hutchinson. I think it's too easy it makes too much sense. So for me.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that statement because this whole thing, I could see 4 potential picks. I could see them going with Ike Ekwonu as well. Just because, well, like, he's arguably the best offensive lineman and they could use interior guard positioning as well. And it can also kick him out to the outside at right tackle if they needed to. So he's very versatile. So I could see them going that route and having a lot of depth on that interior to protect Trevor Lawrence.
I think the way that they built their team up this offseason, I would find it very unlikely that they go with an offensive lineman here at number 1.
I agree.
But I think it's also I think the best two I think the top 2 players are Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson. I just think that Aiden Hutchinson is better. I'm a much bigger Aiden Hutchinson fan. I'm going to be very excited to not have to say Hutchinson again. So
all right. Here it is.
They walking it out.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to have to disable my all notifications.
Why is it coming in before the live stream?
Oh, yeah. I already know who it is.
Am I right?
You will see in a second.
With the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker.
Wow.
You are not correct, sir.
Wow.
Georgia Bulldog fans.
I think Aiden Hutchinson is a better prospect.
You think Aiden Hutchinson is a better prospect?
Yeah.
Okay.
But with that being said, I do still like Trayvon Walker. I think he was a fantastic player for Georgia. Sorry, let me type in the pick here.
Big news. That is huge. I think he's going to have a good addition. I don't think that they could go wrong with their picks. I could just see them going a lot of different ways. And it's really interesting too, especially with kind of how much this has developed over the past week
The
or so.
Lions pick is already in. Sorry,
Oh,
not to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I bet they are ecstatic.
Oh yeah.
But sorry, continue.
But how much this changes that top 10, because now there's potentially 4 edge rushers that could be taken here in the top 10. And really, I think kind of at the start of it a couple months ago, well, I guess he had David Ajabo, but that quickly fell out. But then, so he just kind of figured it's going to be Kayvon Thibodeau and then Aiden Hutchinson. But now there's a lot of talk. Trayvon Walker's gone up through the ranks. And obviously now he's number 1. And then also Jermaine Johnson is a potential dark horse to be taken to the top 10. So very interesting here. I'm very curious to see kind of which order now they come in. Who do you think the Lions are going to be taking here now that they know that Trayvon Walker's still there? Do you think they just ran to the podium with Aiden Hutchinson?
So I think Aiden Hutchinson was the number 1 prospect coming into this.
Okay.
For Detroit, he is the number one prospect. Like, he is the hometown guy. He played at Michigan. He's going to come in and he's going to play at an extremely high level. I mean, I don't even think that they were on the clock for a full minute before that pick came in.
They're still talking about Trayvon Walker and his highlights.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's something you see in the 5th round, not the 1st. Like, so I think Aiden Hutchinson here is the pick. He can replace Trey Flowers from day one, who had a lackluster career in Detroit, but I just I'm just gonna go with Aiden Hutchinson until I'm right.
Until you're right. That's not a bad strategy. Now you are glossing over Kayvon Thibodeau. How come you're not going with him?
His capabilities against the run to me are not quite the same as Aiden Hutchinson's. I think he is a complete defensive end, but I think Aiden Hutchinson is just a little bit better. He's also a little bit bigger, which allows him to play more versatile schemes. 1 second, I'm gonna.
With the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, Michigan.
Staying in state. That's a Cinderella story right there.
I know, yeah. That's a pretty cool one. But I think that's a perfect fit for him. I think him and Dan Campbell mesh really well. And one last thing to touch on Kayvon Thibodeau versus Aiden Hutchinson here. I think Aiden Hutchinson's will to play football is a lot higher than Kayvon Thibodeau's. There's just a few things that have come out recently that Kayvon Thibodeau used to like take plays off and like kind of mess around at practices. And I think his just overall attitude around football might not be as serious as
Aiden Hutchinson. And that's a fair point. If there's someone that is, I mean, has all the talent in the world, but doesn't want to practice, doesn't want to put in the effort. We've seen that time and time again. You know, practice beats perfect, or not. Practice makes perfect. Practice and hard work beat talent every day of the week. So, in this scenario, I think that's going to be. I think that could play a big factor in it. Do you think the Texans are taking note of that, or do you think the Texans are going to go a different route here?
I don't know, because the Texans need so much. I'm going to take down the pick is in. But the Texans need so much. Who the Texans are going to take is going to be who they think is the best player available. And that could be Akim Ekwonu, it could be Evan Neal, it could be Kayvon Thibodeau. It also could be Kyle Hamilton. That's a guy that we had going 13th overall in our mock draft that we did yesterday. But
well, Kyle Hamilton, he's going to be wherever he's taken is going to change, I think, the trajectory of the draft, because some teams might think really highly of him, and Houston might take him right here, or he could fall all the way down to Philadelphia at 18, maybe even New Orleans as well. And so, there's a huge span. All the other players, it seems like there's going to be kind of a point, where they're going to be taken within this range. But Kyle Hamilton, who knows? And if he's taken in the top 10, it's going to only throw off the trajectory of the entire draft. And so, but good for Aiden Hutchinson, though. Good for the Lions. I'm really looking forward to the Lions. I think everyone is kind of rooting for the Lions in some way, shape, or form, because they have just been absolutely atrocious the past couple of years. And so I think
the last 15 years. I mean,
you can make it last 50 years. Ever since the Billy Goat. Is that the Billy Goat curse?
I forget.
I think that's what it is. But anyways, though, I looked this up. I was gonna ask a trivia question for you. Oh, go ahead.
That's a good list of people to be on. The last 5 defensive players selected at number 2 overall: Aiden Hutchinson, Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Von Miller, and Ndamukong Suh. That's a good list.
Yeah, 16 combined Pro Bowls. I think he's going to be looking forward to adding to that. I will say he's a starter day one. I don't see who he's competing with. So have him come in, and I mean that's a lot of talent that is going to be coming that the Lions are getting right there. And so especially with how much their offense, all things considered, isn't horrible. They need to add a receiver, which I think they'll add with our 32nd or 34th pick, because there's going to be some guys that kind of fall in that range. But all said then, not horrible on the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side, though, is just is just a wreck, and they got decimated with injuries last year. They have a lot of better secondary help. I think coming, especially with Jeff Okudah coming back. Hopefully he can come back as strong as he was before the injury. But adding this help, and then if they add some linebacker help, maybe take a sleeper pick, as I kept saying, David Ajabo
at 32.
At 32, maybe 34 as well. Really go defensive heavy in this draft and just throw a bunch of darts on the defensive board and just hope that a couple of them stick.
So really quick, who do you think the Texans are taking here? We got about 10 seconds.
Shoot, man, they could pick 4 or 5 different people here. I don't think that they could have pictured a dream scenario where Evan Neal falls to them at number 3. They have Laramie Tunzel, and who knows if they're going to keep him after his contract is up. And Evan Neal is a freak athlete, 6'7", 330, right?
Yeah, 330, 340, but he's extremely athletic.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just talking about that size. Imagine that on the left, in the left tackle position.
He would be
a couple years from now. No, I know.
We're going
in a couple of years.
Back to the draft.
With the third pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Derek Stingley Jr.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
And so on an unpredictable night, we have our first big surprise.
Okay. That is an
Very-
interesting one. A guy with a lot of injury concerns. What is your first thought to them selecting Derek Stingley Jr.?
To me, that I think is yes, he has the injury concerns, but that's one of those. They do have that 13th overall pick. I think if they didn't have that pick, they might have gone with a safer pick if they want to go corner, maybe go Ahmad Gardner, or go Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu, really beef up that line. But I mean, the amount of potential that Derek Stingley has. I mean, coming from the SEC, he has battle tested, has faced some of the top receivers over the past couple of years during his career. I don't see. I mean, I don't think that's a bad pick. It's just going to need to be if he is healthy.
Yeah.
If he comes out and he's a Pro Bowler, first ballot Hall of Famer, it's going to look like a great pick. If he's a bust, it's going to look like a bad pick. So I think they just like what they see on film, and they're going to and that's what they liked, and they think that they fit the mold of cornerback that they want to have.
Yeah, my first reaction to that is that his ankle surgeon did a hell of a job because these team doctors are very thorough in what they do. And if there was any concern that his ankle might not be 100%, I doubt they would have taken him at number 3.
Well, and that's what we've talked about, because in our later mock drafts, for me, it's like Jameson Williams has gone up my board. David Ajabo has gone up my board because with where modern medicine is now, and then you have some of these injuries, especially major injuries, it doesn't seem – I mean, players seem to – like they have to take time off, obviously, and have surgery and go through rehab, but they are – they come back nearly, especially if it's the first injury, like nearly the same player sometimes, if not stronger and better.
Yeah.
And so – it doesn't seem to be as big of a concern for a lot of these teams. And so, but this is interesting, though. This is the one because we had him going 9th pretty consistently. We had Ahmad Gardner going before him, but in a lot of our last couple of drafts. So this is going to be very interesting. You know who's really excited now? I'm thinking is going to be Carolina, because I don't believe the Jets are going to pick an offensive lineman here.
I doubt it.
So that means either Ike Ekwonu or Evan Neal is going to be available for Carolina. And also Charles Cross. Actually, one of those 3 guys is guaranteed to be there.
Yeah,
as well as
he has to be.
Also, if you're the Giants as well, you got to be thinking, because I think the Jets are going to go defense. Kyle Hamilton's sitting there, Ahmad Gardner sitting there. You do have Jermaine Johnson. You do still have Kayvon Thibodeau as well. They really want to address the offensive side of the ball, and I think the Jets are going to have a defensive pick here. So if we could see those 3 linemen go off the board in these next 3 picks. I can honestly see that.
You mean?
Sorry,
5, 6, and 7.
5, 6, and 7. Yes, with the Jets picking a defensive player here.
Yeah, the Jets are taking their sweet time, so that is an interesting thing there. You could possibly think that maybe they thought
Derek Stingley might be available.
Derek Stingley might be there at 4. Who do you think the Jets are going with? Kyle Hamilton or Ahmad Gardner, or Kayvon Thibodeau still on the board? And then, as you mentioned, the 3 offensive linemen that are going to go in the top 10. So I did just see the pick is in.
Oh, the pick is in. So I think they're going to go secondary here. So I don't think they want to risk for their 10th pick not having Ahmad Gardner or Kyle Hamilton here. Or I'm trying to think if there's Trent McDuffie. There's a little high on Trent McDuffie, I think. But that also being said, if they go edge rush as well, I think that's going to be a fine pick. But I think they're going to go secondary. I think they're going to go with Ahmad Gardner. I think he's going. I think he fits well with that system.
Yeah, I like that pick for the Jets. I think he fits well in that system because Robert Saleh likes to be aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. So it's man, but Kyle Hamilton to me is just a freak of nature.
Oh yeah.
That's tough. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Ahmad Gardner goes here, but I would not be surprised if it's Kyle Hamilton. It's definitely one of those two guys.
Yeah. So I think while we're waiting here and we're at commercial, so I've seen this Man in the Arena ad these past couple times, and this is totally off the bat, but it looks like when Tom Brady's walking into the locker room, doesn't look like he's got just a big old bald spot, like a Brian Hoyer forming bald spot, like right here.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Next time you see that commercial, it's in the beginning when he's walking into that locker room, it just looks like he's just got a big old bald spot right there.
I mean, he's on it, like he's closer to being in a home than when he was drafted. So
that head of hair, absolutely not. No,
yeah,
no, that dude, he's gonna have a head of hair. We're going. Grave diggers are gonna pull up his body 200 years from now, and he's still gonna have that head of hair. He's not going bald anytime soon.
Mullet thing he had in 2007.
Mullet's coming back, man. Mullet's coming back.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it looks good.
I think I might grow. I think as I slowly start to lose my hair, I think I might just have it slowly go back. Have it just keep going back there.
Go tell Brittany that and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're waiting for the pick is in, and let's hear it.
Now pointed out, you should know the picks together. There were 4 and 10, and there have also been any number of trade rumors surrounding the Jets and their intentions here. More connected to that 10th pick, which will be about an hour away. Here's Roger Goodell. With the 4th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Sauce Gardner, defensive back, Cincinnati.
All right,
man, it feels good to be right. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, and I think was that Mel Kiper that was saying that there. I don't think any of these picks would have been wrong, even if they went Jermaine Johnson, even if they went Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think that.
Well, I think Jermaine.
Jermaine Johnson might have been a stretch. Yeah. That's fair. So fine. Kayvon Thibodeau, Ahmad Gardner, or Kyle Hamilton. Any of those 3 picks, I don't think that's a wrong pick. I really don't. I think this is going to be perfect. I think he fits really well within that system.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to go from there. And if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't allowed a touchdown in 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years as starter, no touchdowns allowed.
That's being set up now as like his first play. He's going to line up against Stephon Diggs.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to get burned.
Kareem Hunt, when he made his debut for the Kansas City Chiefs, he didn't fumble all of college. His 3rd carry in the NFL was a fumble.
So I think that happened to Najee Harris in the playoffs last year. Right? Like hasn't had a fumble like his entire pro career so far, and it's like one of the first.
Did that? I thought he didn't have any. I didn't think he had a.
No, he did have a fumble in the. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was a playoff game. They were playing the Chiefs. So I don't know if it was when the Chiefs whooped their ass the first time or the second time.
Oh, okay.
But it was one of those 2 times.
I think it might have been in the playoffs because I don't think he had any regular season fumbles.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I stopped watching both games. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
but yeah. So as we kind of move on to the next New York team, the need for defensive backs was very clear for the New York Jets. With the New York Giants, I think the need is equally as clear. It's just at the offensive line position. And so I think Akim Ekwonu or Evan Neal is the pick here. I'm kind of leaning towards Evan Neal.
Yeah.
Just because he can't really play guard the same way that Akim Ekwonu can, but I think he can play that right tackle position a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where I'm leaning towards is the Evan Neal here at number 5. And then I think that leaves Akim Ekwonu perfect for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. I do like that. Let me check here to see what Andrew Thomas's contract is looking like. Because I do think that Evan Neal is going to be the pick.
Andrew Thomas this is his second year, I think.
Okay,
he's going into his third, and he was a first-round pick, so they still have him under contract for 3 years.
Yeah, in 2020, he signed a 4-year, $32.3 million deal. What a ripoff that was. I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be the pick. But it's similar to the Jets here, with their previous pick. Either or, I don't think it's a bad pick.
Would you consider it a bad pick if they went Kayvon Thibodeau here?
Yes, because they could take Kayvon Thibodeau with their 7th pick. Because the Panthers are not going to take Kayvon Thibodeau with the 6th pick. So take the offensive lineman that you want now, knowing that Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be there with the 7th pick.
Okay. I do see now that the pick is in. We will get our banner up there.
All right, Ryan. So you're going with Evan Neal?
I'm going with Evan Neal.
Okay, I like that. Oh, I see Ahmad Gardner went the wrong way, showing us 40 time here.
Yeah. He is one of those guys. I don't actually know how top-end fast he is. I just think he's so lanky that he's just a strider and that he very much
yeah. And that's fair. And I think and with corner, I mean, it's super nice to have like super quick corners, but I feel like having corners and safeties are similar as when like I think they need to have top end acceleration. They might not have top end speed, but they need to have top end acceleration because a lot of times they're going to be at the hip with the receiver for 10, 15 yards, and they just need to stay with them for there because there's going to be there should be a safety over top.
They just need that initial burst.
Yeah, and
like to kind of catch up. So.
And that's what you were saying with how tall and lanky he is. That helps him out a lot if he doesn't have top end speed.
Yeah.
And so, but still, I think it's a great pick. It's going to be it's very interesting now because we're going to look back going on that, like we're going to evaluate 5 years from now when all their rookie contracts are up, because we've had 2 edge rushers that a team could have taken and then 2 corners that a team could have taken. I think that's going to be a very interesting kind of analysis to kind of see how each one pans out.
Do you agree with me that Evan Neal is going to be the Giants pick here?
Yes.
Are you going to Kim Ekwonu?
I will go Kim Ekwonu just to keep it different.
Okay.
Special guest is joining the commissioner as they make their way out to name the Giants selection at number 5 in this year's draft. Here we go.
For the New York Giants pick, I'm joined by Sam Prince, a lifelong Giants fan and Make-A-Wish kid. Sam is post-heart transplant and feeling stronger than ever, as you can see. Tonight, his wish to announce the Giants' first pick comes true. We hope this wish will be a turning point for Sam as he looks forward to being a sports broadcaster in the future. Okay, Sam, it's time to get your wish true, baby.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. With the 5th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end, Oregon.
Okay.
So I think the Giants had my logic, what I just said, in reverse. Where I think they know either Evan Neal or Kim Ekwonu is not going to be there. Potential chance, maybe someone would trade up with the Panthers and take Kayvon Thibodeau. At 6, and so they want to get him now while he's available, knowing that either Evan Neal or Akeem Ekwonu is going to be there. So to me, I gotta say, look at that's a sparkly suit. Look at that.
Is a sparkly suit.
That is a very sparkly
Looks like
suit.
Trainer
So,
Matt from your wedding a few weeks ago.
so I don't think he does look like Trainer Matt for my wedding. Yeah, he does. Shout out to Trainer Matt. For everyone watching who gets that reference. But I think I don't disagree with the pick. I mean, especially with them picking 7th. I think this is a sign to me that I know there is some speculation that maybe the Giants will trade that 7th pick. This to me shows they are not trading that pick.
They're not trading that 7th.
They're taking an offensive lineman, their favorite offensive lineman that's still available with that 7th pick.
Well,
now if you're Carolina, you are not trading this pick because you have the top offensive lineman that you want available, and that's exactly what you need.
Yeah. So first off, I want to point out we were both wrong on this one. Whereas I want to say last year we were 5 for 5.
But that's not saying much though, because I mean by September 2020, we all knew Trevor Lawrence was going to be the first overall pick.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's how unpredictable this draft is. Yeah, and so I like.
If I'm not going to lie, I could have. It's going into today. I could have predicted. I could have thought Trayvon Walker goes first, Hutchinson second, and then Stingley. Oh, is he dancing there?
Yeah, he's dancing with the Make-A-Wish kid. That's
Stingley, and then Gardner go 3-4. I would have thought Kayvon Thibodeau at this point would have fallen. I would have thought that they would have gone offensive lineman here. Yeah.
But I think that's the bigger need. Are you laughing at the?
Yeah, I'm laughing. I guess my thing's on a little bit of a delay, but that was funny. I like that.
Yeah, that's good to see though. Like I enjoy watching these guys interact with the fan base. Yeah. I think that's such an underrated aspect of being a professional. But anyways, back to the actual pick. I think they had Kayvon Thibodeau miles ahead of the next edge rusher, right? Mm-hmm. And then they were like, well, Akeem Ekwonu and Evan Neal are really, really close on our board. So why don't we just take Kayvon Thibodeau, guarantee that we get him?
Yeah.
And then we'll just take the other offensive lineman because Carolina is going to take one. Unless for some reason Carolina decides to take a quarterback here.
Well, and if they do, then going then on your thought process, then this pick doesn't matter. Then they get both the defensive edge rusher that they want and also the lineman that they want as well. So it doesn't matter what Carolina does. I think they're like, let's take him now. Mm-hmm. Carolina's going to take one, and then we'll take the other because we're happy with either one. And so
this to me is interesting now for your Atlanta Falcons.
I was just about to make that transition actually,
because if they take a quarterback here, that leaves one of the top. One of the top 2 tackles is going to be on the board for the Falcons. But if they take a quarterback here, they could get Akeem Ekwonu or Evan Neal, who in my opinion are 1A, 1B.
I'm not going to lie. I never would have thought if that we'll see what happens here. And I know I've been all talk about getting a receiver. But that's only just because I never would have thought that these guys would be here. Also, Charles Cross is also now in that mix. I don't think Charles Cross has ever fallen to this far as well. So if they go there, they don't get Charles Cross. I'm not as high on Charles Cross because I think he's more of a for sure tackle. However, though, with left tackle specifically, and we're good on that with Jake Matthews. So, however, though, if for whatever reason, if they go Kenny Pickett here or Malik Willis, and then Akeem Ekwonu and Evan Neal are there for Atlanta, and we don't take them, I would actually be upset. I would actually be extremely upset, considering I know we need edge rusher help. We need linebacker help. We need corner help, receiver help, running back, quarterback. We need everything else. But I've been preaching this the entire time that you need an offensive line. And I mean, there's now going to be a lineman, one of the top 3 linemen available at this position. So
exactly. And I think Marcus Mariota with an improved offensive line is better than a Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett with a with the same offensive line. Like that is a lot better, in my opinion, if the Falcons were to like take a quarterback here. So,
or the Panthers, you mean? Yeah.
Well, in both scenarios, yes.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the Falcons specifically. I think if the Falcons get an opportunity at one of those guys, then
they are like it's now. I mean, if we're talking about those three linemen, there's 3 picks away, so they're going to get one of those guys. Now, it's do they want to get? Would they want to take a reach on the third best offensive lineman? Maybe. I mean, I can understand that logic if they want to go a different way. Please don't take a quarterback. Just don't take a quarterback. I just don't want them to take a quarterback. Do you want the Panthers here? I want the Panthers to take a quarterback based off my opinion on this quarterback class. Please, take Matt Corral. He's going to be good. He's going to be good for you, Panthers. That opinion is brought to you by Coors Light.
So. Yeah, exactly. Next commercial break, I might have to take a visit to the mountains here.
That's a good one. You know what's a good beer? Busch Light. I like Busch Light. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they're now at this point with how old I am now. All that gas station beer all kind of tastes the same. I mean, I'll drink a PBR as well. A PBR is a good beer.
So back when I was in college,
last year.
Okay, 2 years ago. All right. There was a bar, and it was like I think it was Nona Peachy's. It was a pizza place, but they had a full bar. You could go there on Tuesdays and Thursdays during happy hour and get a pitcher of PBR for $6.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
that sounds awesome.
Fantastic. That was great. And it was half off pizza. So you'd go there, you'd get a full pizza and a pitcher of beer for like $12.
So I took my now wife, we were dating at the time, but to my college town of Milledgeville, Georgia. Shout out to all you Bobcats out there that are watching this, which is probably zero of you guys. But I took her, and after living in Nashville for several years, we took her down there. I had several beers. She had several wines. And I think, including tip, my tab was like $20 going out at the bar at Gringos. Amazing time. Gringos. Absolutely amazing time.
Gringos is a lot of fun.
Gringos is a good time.
Yeah. So shout out to Milledgeville. Ben
Milledgeville, Georgia.
Potentially committed crimes there. Sorry, not potentially, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Here is the Carolina Panthers pick.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Ikem Ekwonu.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I think that is a dream scenario for the Panthers. I mean, because I could honestly have seen a scenario where Houston, the Jets, and the Giants have taken 3 linemen.
Oh,
it's weird. Like the Jets, maybe if they wanted to beef up their offensive line, but now they had the option to pick between Ikem and Evan Neal, and now I think if you're the Giants, you're taking Evan Neal.
Yeah,
I don't see why you wouldn't take Evan Neal here. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, nothing against Charles Cross as well, but when was the last time? This is a question. And this is something I think. When was the last time the first 5 picks were all defensive players?
Oh man.
Well, here, and while you're thinking about that, another trivia question, and for all of our viewers out there, when was the last UGA player to be taken number 1 overall?
Was it Herschel Walker?
No.
He was a first-round pick, though, right? Oh, yeah, he definitely.
Yeah. No, but he was a first-round pick for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But who was the last first overall? Comment in the chat if you know the answer.
Oh, it's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
Now, don't comment in the chats because Ryan just said
it. Well, there's no one in here.
There's no one watching this. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. We didn't even share it on Facebook, so our family and friends don't even know we're doing this right now.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. So.
Yeah, exactly. So
we could. I can go do that right now.
I put it in
Yeah.
the chat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like 30 minutes ago or something.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
But I think this is an easy pick here for the New York Giants. Trade it or not trade it. Take Evan Neal. Don't trade back. And
No. Well, it's. I mean, what would you trade back for? Like, what would you have to get for the Giants to trade? I mean, I'm thinking
an offensive tackle.
Yeah. But like a legit with a high upside offensive tackle. I mean, but I'm maybe thinking first round for next year. If there's a team that really wants a quarterbatt, that really wants a receiver,
pick is back in.
Is back in. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're not trading it,
No.
obviously. But also, I would say then on the flip side of that, though, if I'm a team that like might want to go reach for a player, I'm looking at these next teams that are coming up here, and I don't think, I don't see who you would trade up with. Like the Jets, I don't think the Jets would trade up and go get a receiver because one of the top receivers is going to be there for them. You know,
Jameson
so
Williams. I mean, okay, so unless this pick by the Giants is a wide receiver, which I highly doubt. I mean, you have Drake London, Garrett Wilson, and Jameson Williams all right there. The Jets can get one of those guys.
If they pick a receiver,
oh God. If they pick anybody but Evan Neal here, it's a bad pick because they don't pick again for another 30 picks.
I mean that would be shockwaves.
Oh yeah,
that would be absolute shockwaves. If I'm Terry Fontenot of the Atlanta Falcons GM and they take Jameson Williams, I'm running.
Look at your screen and there's a guy with a Neal patch on his head. And that is the pick. That has to be the pick.
Yeah.
Like you said, I am running.
I'm running. If I'm Terry Fontenot and let's say the Giants take Jameson Williams here, I'm running to Roger Goodell. I'm running from Atlanta to Las Vegas to give Roger Goodell the Evan Neal pick. Put him at right tackle. Goodbye Caleb McGarry. Like I am running to that pick.
Yeah. But this has to be Evan Neal here. I can't imagine a world that Evan Neal doesn't go right here.
Right? Like I just can't see. I don't see. I mean maybe Charles Cross. Maybe if they think Charles Cross is better for something and they think that he fits the scheme better, then I could see that. But that'd be the only other pick I think that would make sense.
The New York Giants select Evan Neal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Alabama.
Yeah.
That's just. I mean, that was a no-brainer. That had to be it.
That's one of those. Like I would feel like you normally wouldn't want to think about what other people say about your job, but if they took someone else outside of Evan Neal, the GM and the head coach would have some explanation on why they went that route. They'd have to explain why we had concerns about Evan Neal. And so we wanted to go with the safer route because we saw X player. But here, though, Evan Neal, I mean, the fact that Evan Neal fell to 7, it goes to what you were saying earlier is like, how can Trayvon Walker, who a month ago was like middle of the tier guy, now all of a sudden get taken up all the way to number 1? Same thing goes to Evan Neal. It's amazing how
he was almost a consensus number 1 2.5 months ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, and now that he goes number 7.
Yeah,
technically could have gone number 5. You know, because I think they could have taken him at number 5 as well. But having him here at number 7, I mean, if you're Giants fans, I think that is, you are super excited with how this draft panned out. Very excited how this.
You got to know you got a top 3 edge rusher and a top 3 tackle in the top 10. I don't think it could have worked out much better. For you, and then you're still gonna have a guy like Kenyon Green in the second round who could be there by the
Oh yeah,
6th pick in the second round.
That's a good point
So-
too, and they can really beef up that line. So, but now to the most important pick of the draft. I know that's
Yeah.
where you were going.
I was about to say, most important pick for you.
Anyone but a quarterback. Anyone but a quarterback I can justify.
Yeah.
Because we just don't need a quarterback. If we really like Charles Cross, let's go Charles Cross.
Yeah.
We could put him at right tackle. Maybe we can. How tall is Charles Cross again?
I think he's 6'4", 5".
That's the guard height. We could put him at left guard potentially.
So the thing is he has in his starting career at, I think it's Mississippi State, he's never played anywhere other than left tackle. So that's a big concern for teams that have a left tackle but need other offensive line needs, because he doesn't have the experience of the Akim Ekwonu or the Evan Neal, where he has played in other spots. Like, he has to learn that, and I'm sure he's practiced it.
That's fair,
but there's going to be a learning curve there with Charles Cross.
And that's fair. I think our offensive line, outside of Jake Matthews, who I'd say is above average left tackle. And then Chris Lindstrom, our right guard, is fairly abysmal. Matt Hennessy, who was our kind of center last year, and then him and Drew Dahlman switched at center a lot. I think they can grow a lot and become really good centers. They're both very young. But right tackle Caleb McGarry is, I think, in the final year of his rookie contract, has not really progressed the way they wanted. Left guard was a big weak spot last year. Rookie Jalen Mayfield from Michigan was a left guard, and obviously he's a rookie. I mean, so it's unfair.
That's a very good example.
It's unfair to say he is like gone from the league, because maybe he can grow. But
the pick is,
I mean, you really need to have a lot of growth here. So for me personally, with the way this is panned out, any position besides quarterback, I think, is a good pick here. I don't want to see Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis be taken here.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, if we win a Super Bowl with them, I will be the first guy to be screaming from the rooftops. So, but I don't think they'll go that route. If they want a quarterback, they can get a quarterback in the second round. I think Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral is going to fall that far. And they have a couple picks in the second round as well. So, I thought, for a brief second, I thought that the Falcons traded that pick.
Oh, no.
But that was just reviewing the Falcons-Colts trade. So, last in NFL in receiving yards by wide receivers, tight end Kyle Pitts led team of receptions. It's almost like they're
Kansas City from like 6 years ago.
Oh, when they went 1-15.
No, when well, actually, yeah, but it was Matt. I think it was Matt Castle was the quarterback. Then they traded for Alex Smith, and then they didn't throw a touchdown to a wide receiver for a whole season. Yeah, and they only threw touchdowns to Travis Kelce and the other tight end. And the pick is coming out right now. It looks like we will get that on for you. All right, who do you think it is? Real quick.
I mean, I think they're going to go receiver here.
Okay.
The Atlanta Falcons select Drake London, wide receiver, USC.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Okay.
I like him and Kyle Pitts together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and isn't Drake London 6'3", 6'4", right? He's
6'5".
a big receiver.
He's
6'5".
So he's 6'5", like 210. The only concern that I have with him is just he's not very fast. And when I say not very fast, he might be for like a 4.6 to possibly low 4.7 40. And some of that could just be because of his ankle and it's not fully ready yet. But his pro comparison is Mike Evans from Tampa Bay.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I was thinking of is, I mean, Mike Evans doesn't seem like he's that fast, but he just seems like he's a mismatch nightmare.
Oh yeah,
to any corner, because obviously the average corner height. I also see Vincent Jackson up there as well.
No,
that's I also see aren't corners on average 5'10" to 6 feet. God,
I mean, he's going to be so taller than almost all corners.
Yeah, so you just go throw that ball up, and he's going to be able to go match up against those guys.
Yeah. And he's extremely physical, good run blocker. I like the pick for the Falcons. I think he's going to fit that scheme. He's going to give Marcus Mariota somebody to just kind of throw the ball to.
Well, and now
if he
and
ever
then,
gets in a sticky situation.
and then also is what you said with Kyle Pitts as well. So now you have Kyle Pitts, who's 6'4", right? Or is he a little bit taller than that?
I don't remember from last year's.
I'm trying to remember.
I think he's a little
Kyle
bit.
He's either 6'4" to 6'6". I'm pretty sure he's up in that range. So now you have two tall receivers, and then you have some speedy guys like Olamide Sakai. So I would not be surprised if this is not the last receiver taken by the Atlanta Falcons here. I think that is going to be a pretty consistent need. I think it's going to be receiver and edge rusher with an offensive lineman put in there. Because I think they've addressed a lot of the other needs. They signed Casey Hayward to go on the other side of AJ Terrell. I'd say that's pretty solid cornerback duo so far. Then you have Richie Grant, who's going to be the starting safety for the guys. You do still have a decent linebacking core. Mekil Walker had a solid rookie year, and there's a lot of potential there with him. And so I think you're going to see a lot of receivers and a lot of edge rushers taken here by the Falcons in this draft. So I like this pick. 3 edge rushers already taken off the board. If they would have taken Jermaine Johnson here, I also think that would have been a solid pick as well. So
I still think it's a little rich for Jermaine Johnson. I think high teens or not low teens is going to be where he goes. Yeah, but I am interested to see what the Falcons do later. They do have 2 second-round picks. And so I think that the Falcons are setting themselves up well with the Drake London pick. But I am really curious now. Seattle has Charles Cross, a left tackle on the board that can come in and replace Dwayne Brown, their longstanding left tackle. But Kyle Hamilton is still there at 9. And I would really hate to see Kyle Hamilton go to 10 to the Jets. So
I personally think Seattle is going to go offensive line. I mean, that's the reason why Russell Wilson left. They had no offensive line to block or defend him. Also didn't really help at all in the run game. So I think they're going to go offensive line here, really try and beef up that offensive line. Yeah. And the Jets, no guarantee that the Jets are going to go Kyle Hamilton, but that's looking pretty good the Jets would take that in a heartbeat. Carter and then Kyle Hamilton. Yeah.
No. I if the Jets get the opportunity to take Kyle Hamilton, I think that they would be stupid not to.
Well, but still no guarantee though that they're going to go Kyle Hamilton. They might go offensive side of the ball. They might take a receiver here as well. The Jets, not the Seahawks. The Seahawks are not going to take a receiver.
No. Yeah, I still think Kyle Hamilton is the favorite to go there at the Jets. I think that would be Robert Saleh would be very hard pressed to pass on a top 5 talent guy like Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I am going to go take a quick break. I will be back, and I will see you in a second. 1 second.
All right, let me get this. right, we are back from, well, I guess I am back from our quick little break here. The Seattle Seahawks are about to announce their pick. This is interesting. Oh, you there? This is interesting. I feel like Charles Cross is going to be the pick here. I think that the Seahawks offensive line. Oh, you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, your screen is frozen as you're not in the chair. Charles Cross is the pick. Sorry, we did miss that on the broadcast. But Charles Cross is the pick here. I think that's the right pick.
I think so as well.
As much as I hate to
give the Jets the opportunity. Yeah. I like that pick. Are you able to see me now?
Well, I can see you on the live stream. I just can't see you on the in the actual studio. But
on the live stream, people could see me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I don't care if you see me. I like that.
I'll just
pick.
look at myself. I know what you look like.
Oh yes, I look just like you. So
yeah, exactly.
But similar here, I think to Atlanta is. I mean, I don't think there's. I mean, there's a couple of wrong picks, but if there's a player that they feel like if they felt Kyle Hamilton was going to come in and contribute more than Charles Cross on day one, then I think that's the right pick. But that being said, but Charles Cross, I mean, they're showing his highlights here now. I mean, going up against some of the top talent in the SEC, held his own. I mean, I think he's going. I think this is a great pick. I can see him being here at the Saints, the Seahawks for over a decade, for a long time.
They have the salary cap to pay him over the next few years, most likely. I mean, I think that's a perfect scenario for him because he can come in right away and play left tackle.
Well, and especially
he's not going to have to learn a new position.
It's different when you come in at left tackle with a team that like we're expecting to win now. Coming in the Seahawks, you are in that division with the 49ers who are looking like they're ready to win a Super Bowl. You have the Cardinals who should be really good. And then on top of that, I haven't even mentioned the Super Bowl defending champs, the Los Angeles Rams. So the expectations in Seattle now, I mean, I think they're going to be a fourth-tier team for a long time. So there's going to be some expectations. Your quarterback is Drew Lock, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No offense to Drew Lock or his fans if they're out there watching our stream right now. I don't like if he gives up a couple sacks here during that learning curve. They would much rather have it be to Drew Lock than to Russell Wilson their next franchise quarterback. So I think this is the right pick. They're solidifying that offensive line. This pick definitely to me seems similar to the Penei Sewell pick from last year, which is where the teams are at. Not comparing the talent, just where the teams are at. And then taking this pick, it's like, this is our left tackle of the future. He is going to be our left tackle, and we're going to build our offensive line around this guy.
Yeah. No. I think that's a good analogy there. I think that Charles Cross, the fact he doesn't have to learn a new position is really good. And I think he took a huge step up this year in sorry, it said the Jets Seahawks trade, and I was very confused for a second. But I think Charles Cross took a big step up, and he showed that he still has room to improve. And I think that's going to be very important for him going forward, as like just to continue to improve. And like you said, play in a non-pressure environment where he can succeed. So,
yeah, I like that. I think it's good.
The Jets here at number 10, sorry to interrupt. This marks a top 10 that had no draft day trades. Isn't that a little crazy?
I mean, were there any? I don't think there were any last year.
Yeah, no,
the Bears traded up to 11.
No, but the Cowboys and the Eagles traded at the end there. I think they traded from 9 to 12 or 10 to 12 or something.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh
But
no, it's the Giants.
usually
The
you
Cowboys
have a
and the
little bit of
Giants trade
movement
that.
there.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I think for the top 10 at this point, though, any trades that were going to be made, especially at this
been.
point, would have been
Mhm.
done by now. And so, sorry, I'll say here.
Oh, hey, you're back on the screen.
Oh, can you see me?
I can. You're frozen
All right.
again, but you're there.
I'm here.
All right. The New York Jets pick is in. Really quick, what is the name of the player that is about to be called here?
Shoot, I don't know. I mean,
Kyle Hamilton.
Do you think it's Kyle Hamilton, or do you think he keeps falling?
I think it's Kyle Hamilton.
You think it's Kyle Hamilton?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, Garrett Wilson.
Ohio State.
Oh, I got that one right yesterday. All right, perfect. I could see that pick.
I can too. I think him and Elijah Moore is a good matchup, and then Corey Davis.
Well, but Corey Davis is going to be gone, and I would not be surprised if they also then address the position here later on in the draft as well. Try to get another different kind of receiver here. So I think Garrett Wilson is going to be a good complement to that receiving core, because now they already have their safety. Their corner one of the future, and then also, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have two more picks. I think they have two more picks in the top 38 picks, if I'm not mistaken.
Top 38?
Yeah, I think they also have two more picks as well.
I do not think so.
Double check me on that. I thought they had two early second round picks.
New York Jets. Oh, they do. They have 35 and 38. Wow.
So I'm trying to think of what edge rush. I mean, there's going to be plenty of edge rushers, I think, in that early second round that they can take. Also, other secondary as well. But if there's a guy they really like, they could use one of those picks and trade up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, they could use both of those and get back up into the teens if they want 3 first rounders here. So
it could. They had that last year.
Did they?
Did they have that last year?
They had 34.
Which team had 3 first round picks last year? I thought there was a team that had 3 first round picks. Pretty sure it was the Jets, because they had Zach Wilson, then Elijah Vera Tucker, and
then they took Elijah Moore at 33.
No, not 33. I thought they took him in the.
No, he was a day 2 pick.
He was a day 2 pick.
Yeah, he was like he was the second day 2 pick.
I thought there was a team that had. Oh,
Miami,
wow. Okay. Hey, wait. Big news. Saints traded up.
Oh.
Saints trade. What did they trade for here?
Let's get on our Twitter fingers here. They usually put it on the screen at some point.
Do you think the Saints take Jameson Williams here? I mean, why else would you trade up? Because I could see
Malik Willis.
But they have another pick though later on. I mean, maybe they really want Malik Willis. But I also could see them liking Kenny Pickett as well. So I mean that is now 2 receivers off the board. I mean, maybe they could wait for Chris Olave. I don't think they'd be going with an offensive line or defensive player here. I don't think they would trade up for Kyle Hamilton.
This is the first trade of the night. I just realized.
Yeah, this is the first trade of the night. I'm very curious to see who, which pick. I bet it was the 16th pick. They had to trade it for the 16th pick.
They may have given up both.
Only go up 5, maybe.
Because the value there at 16 and 19. Well, I doubt. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a lot to get two
Yeah.
first-round picks. I don't know if the Saints would want. I think I could see them giving up a third rounder to go along with that to only move up 5 spots.
Saints are moving up in a trade. The Saints are trading the 16th, 98th, and 120th pick for the 11th pick via the Washington Commanders. It could be a Jameson Williams. You there? I really think it looks like we lost Tyler there for a second. But I really think it could be Jameson Williams here. The Saints are giving up the 16th, 98th, and 120th pick to go up 5 spots. What's up, bud?
What's up? Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
What did it say? They moved up 5 spots?
They moved up 5 spots. They are getting the 11th pick. They're giving up the 16th, the 98th, and then the 120th pick.
Okay.
So,
all right. I think that's fair. So a third compensatory pick, and then it seemed like a fourth compensatory pick as well. So I think that's fair.
No, it's not a compensatory, but it's a fourth.
Oh, just a fourth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's fair. And then the Saints still then have the 19th pick. Do you think they're going Malik Willis here, or do you think that they're going? I don't know. With now
they
Drake
didn't have
London
to sacrifice a whole lot to move up, in my opinion, for what they did. A third and a fourth, especially a compensatory third. The pick is in. But to only sacrifice a compensatory third and then a fourth, I don't think that is that big of a move, or that big of a loss. So I think if they like Jameson Williams, I think it could be him. It is interesting to see kind of.
I think they're going Jameson Williams here. I mean, they did sign Jameis Winston. They re-signed him. I think they have faith in him. Also, if they want a quarterback, unless if a bunch of trades happen between now and then, I think they could still get a quarterback at the 19th pick.
Do you think it could be a Kyle Hamilton?
No. I don't think they would trade up for a safety. Because if I'm being honest, I think if they wouldn't have traded that 16th pick, it's possible that Kyle Hamilton still would have been there. So if they're going bait, I can see that logic. Also, if they don't have Kyle Hamilton, who is an amazing player, who I don't think that that would have been as big of a loss, because I think a lot of their needs are going to be on the offensive side of the ball, or as big of a miss, I should say, not loss, because they never had him. So I think they're going Jameson Williams.
They are walking the ticket out to the podium right now. Let's see who they take. I'm going to agree with you. I think it's Jameson Williams or Malik Willis here. Mel Kiper agrees with you as well. He thinks it's going to be a wide receiver.
I think it's a wide receiver.
And Jameson Williams is really the only one, in my opinion, that's worth taking at this point. I still think it's extremely rich for any of those wide receivers. But
I mean, it's possible that James Williams wouldn't have made it to New Orleans at 16. So that's why I think it's highly possible Malik Willis would have made it to 16. It's possible he could have made it to 19. If they really wanted him.
Yeah. All right. Here is Roger Goodell.
It's a time of optimism for all 32 teams and their fans. We've got a similar time 2 weeks from tonight.
Is that Tony Gonzalez?
Yeah. I think so.
Why is he announcing the Saints pick?
This year's schedule will have a new twist, as our Thursday night games will be carried by a new partner, Amazon Prime Video. Joining me are Chargers and Chiefs season ticket members Jane Debo and Moose Felt. Also here is Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez, who will be part of the Prime Video broadcast team. Congratulations, Tony.
That's why.
Thanks, Roger. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Good. Tell you what, I am excited to be part of this broadcasting crew for Amazon. You may recognize this guy right here next to me. He's going to be helping me make this announcement for Prime Video, which will be airing on week 2 of the NFL season, September 15th. Los Angeles running back Austin Eckler. Huh? And I guess you can tell probably it's no surprise. The first game that we're going to kick it off is going to be on the Arrowhead on Thursday night against the Chargers. And I tell you what, Austin, if you want my opinion about this game, whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. At least the way it's always seemed. Talk to the fans, tell them what you think.
Look, it doesn't get much better than this. It doesn't get much better than this. Thursday night football. You got 2 high-powered teams battling it out. It's going to be epic. It's going to be an amazing thing. Even if you don't rock.
I think I can speak for everyone watching this right now is we don't care.
Yeah. I was going to say, what is the pick?
Forward to it. This rivalry goes back 62 years. You're not going to see every time these 2 teams get together, it's explosive. It's fireworks,
Okay.
it's touchdowns, great defense. So we will see you there September 15th.
Can we hear the pick now?
Bottom none is.
There we go.
Commanders have traded the 11th pick to the New Orleans Saints. With the 11th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Chris Olave,
Wow.
Ohio State.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, so we were right on the position.
We were right on the position. I don't like that pick.
I rather would have had James Williams too.
Yeah, I don't like that pick. All right. Like
It's not.
he's a
I
great
mean,
route
they-
runner.
Yeah, it's James Williams though. I mean,
Well, that's what I mean. He's a great route runner, and he has good hands. Oh, Minnesota trades the pick to the Detroit Lions.
quarterback.
It has to be a quarterback.
That's the 32nd and 34th pick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It says, and it says the pick is in. But okay, so my biggest gripe with Chris Olave's game, he's kind of a weird mix between a slot and an outside wide receiver. Here, let me mute my TV there, but he's this weird mix between a slot and an outside wide receiver.
I mean, it's not. So it. Here's my thing with it. It's not that I dislike Chris Olave. I like James Williams more.
No,
I think
I 100% agree. With that.
I think that he does have the ACL injury. We all know that. Saints, I don't think are in a win now situation. So I think they could have waited and have him come back. Maybe they fits the scheme better, but I don't know. I mean, I think Sean Payton would have taken James Williams. I think he would have fit that. I think he would have come in and fit that offense, any offense, amazingly well. So I think that. I mean, you're taking a chance. I totally get it. I think James Williams would have been the better pick. So, but me as a Falcons fan, I guess I would say I'm happy that they took Chris Olave.
Chris Olave would have been there at 16.
Chris Olave would have been there at 16.
Jameson Williams probably, maybe it'd be close. The thing for me is, especially even guys like later, even like a guy like Treylon Burks who isn't as developed as route running, you can teach that to a guy. But what you can't teach to Chris Olave is how he can be more physical, how he can win more jump balls, how he can win at the contested catch point. I am a little disappointed in the Saints evaluating staff because or scouting staff, because I feel like if they had done their research, they would have realized that Chris Olave would have been there at probably 16 and 19, but also the fact that he is not a true number one wide receiver. He's like a 2A wide receiver, in my opinion. So to take him at 11, I think is a huge reach. I think a lot of the guys in this wide receiver class are being reached on because teams, it's a wide receiver needy league. So
I will say in the Saints defense, I think a 2A receiver is better than any of the receivers that they have right now. So
yeah, but Jameson Williams is a 1A receiver. That's the argument too there.
I agree.
So
I agree.
That's the first pick I've really looked at, and I'm like, that is a bad pick. Oh, looks like Tyler froze again. The Detroit Lions pick is in. I am still a little but sad for the New Orleans Saints fans here. I really think that was something that they could have done better. And a better team. I agree with you, Brittany, on both. But I really think that the Saints could have done a better job there. It's really hard for a guy like Chris Olave to develop skills that I think Jameson Williams has learned over.
Hey, am I back? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just saying how much I disagreed with the pick. Here's the Detroit Lions.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded the 12th pick to the Detroit Lions with the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams.
Wow.
All right. Okay, I'm liking it.
Good for him. Let's start with the speed. Young man was a track star in high school at St. Louis.
Wow.
I like it.
Okay, hold on.
I like that.
That offensive line, DeAndre Swift, all right, Amon-Ra St. Brown, TJ Hawkinson, Jameson fucking Williams.
Right? Okay, that makes – I mean, I would have thought that would have been such a – I gladly would have given up my 32nd and 34th pick.
The Eagles look like they traded up to 13.
Jeez, who do they get then?
Is that three back-to-back trades? 11, 12, and 13?
Three back-to-back trades.
Yeah.
Holy
None of the top
cow.
10.
I know, you jinxed it. Everyone heard you.
I know, yeah. we gotta shut this kid up.
Who? Let me see.
Oh, man. What a run on receivers, though. Holy cow.
So Detroit, it looks like Detroit sent the 32nd, 34th, and 66th pick to Minnesota for the 12th and 46th pick.
Oh, that's actually not a bad deal.
That's fair.
That's not a bad deal.
I think that is 100% fair.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're Minnesota too, it's like
you're going to get three more top 100 picks. Like,
well, just one more because they're giving up
you're
two.
Going to get, you'll get one more, but pretty much 3 second-round picks.
Yeah,
that's worth it. But the run on wide receivers that the Falcons just started.
Well, I know, and so this, I think, before my internet cut out, I think this is going to be one we're going to look back. On these last 5 picks. Sorry, 5 picks. We're going to look at and see who picked poorly, who did not pick, who picked perfectly. I mean, is this a Lions pick? I mean, because you're right, that offense now. I mean, is this going to be one of the best offenses that Jared Goff has partaken in now? I mean, we got to give it a couple of years, But if Amon-Ra St. Brown was he, I'm pretty sure he was 1,000-yard receiver last
No,
year.
he was
No,
like
he was
30 something.
he was
He was very
damn
close.
close. He's going to be 1,000-yard receiver this year. James Williams
Yeah.
comes back healthy. DeAndre Swift is an underrated running back. Three down back.
100%. But that offensive line is top 5.
It might not be top 5, but it went in the right direction. It definitely went in the right direction.
Statistically, it's not top 5.
Yes.
I will give you that. Their left tackle got hurt, and their, I think, all-pro center got hurt, and it was still as good as it was.
Yes.
That to me says a lot. I'm in all seriousness, could you see Detroit doing what Cincinnati did this year and possibly making a playoff push with the way that division stands? Because Green Bay, as of right now, has no outside wide receiving threats. Their defense is good, but not. I mean, it's nothing.
Well, so that's the difference, though, for Cincinnati is between Cincinnati and the Lions. No, because T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd the year before were both 1,000-yard receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif Raymond were not. I mean, they're really good. Don't get me wrong. All things considered for the Lions, but you were adding Jamar Chase already to a receiving duo that was 1,000. That wasn't 1,000-yard. They both had over 1,000 yards. Another thing as well is the Bengals. Then their defensive front, one of the best defensive fronts in the entire NFL, which is what really contributed to their success last year. If they didn't have that defensive front last year, I don't know if they make the playoffs. If I'm being honest, if Trey Hendrickson and company did not have the amazing season that they had, I don't think that the Bengals have that season and make that Super Bowl run. The Lions don't have a Trey Hendrickson left. I mean, I think they could draft one. Absolutely, they could build up into.
I think Aiden Hutchinson, I feel like is.
Maybe,
we don't know what he'll be.
Maybe,
yet.
but wasn't Trey Hendrickson still established? Like they signed him, and he was still an established kind of up and coming. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a rookie. Not saying he can't become that.
No.
By any means. So.
I look at that Detroit team. I look at how they finished. I look at how unlucky they were last year, and I think I don't think it is unrealistic for them to win the division. With the state of the Bears, Vikings, and Packers at the moment.
Wait, so you don't think it's unrealistic?
No, I mean, I'm still going to pick the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, but to me, I now see a path for them to win it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's unrealistic for them to win. I mean, I know we were saying that last year about the Bengals, but that Bengals team still had a lot of talent. We were even talking about they could win 6, 7, 8 games potentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I think the Lions this year, their goal should be to try and go 5-12. I think be competitive because there were games with the Lions last year. They were competitive in half their games, but not a good kind of competitive. Like they didn't look impressive. The Bengals though still had all the talent and firepower, and they were able to bring it all together. The Lions still, I think, I think they're heading in the right direction. I don't think that they'll win the division. Maybe an outside wild card spot, only because just of how weak the NFC is. In my opinion, just in my opinion.
So I look at that offensive line. I see how successful it was last year with the injuries that it had. And then I look at the running game that they could potentially have with DeAndre Swift, and now this wide receiving core. And I don't think Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is average. He is a Joe Flacco to me. I don't think he is the Rams didn't have to move on from him, but they got an elite quarterback in Matthew Stafford, so that they took that opportunity. So for me, I think that it is a scenario that Detroit could win the division this year. I think that is something that I think people might have to might have to look at.
I will say, sorry, and change the subject here. Look at what the Eagles had to give up just to move up 2 spots. To me, that tells me that there's a lot of people that were interested in this 13th pick. They had to give up, just go up 2 spots. They had to give up a 4th rounder for this year and 2 5th rounders. So for me, that means that there is a lot of people that were interested in this pick here. Who do you think they're going to take? I honestly have no idea. I genuinely don't know.
Devin Lloyd is the first guy that comes to mind.
I think Devin Lloyd was going to be available, though. I mean, they just had to veer Baltimore.
Or maybe a Jordan Davis.
I can see Jordan Davis. Yeah. So, sorry, one second here. Everyone, do you want to come see my wife? No? Okay.
All 2 people?
All 2 people.
Yeah.
Because we're pregnant. So.
Oh, I can't tell if they're walking out the card or not yet. Tyler, who did Brittany pick for the Patriots?
She said Devin Lloyd would be a person that she would like for the Patriots. So
I would like Devin Lloyd too, but I don't know.
Is a pick going in?
Ryan and I talked about it.
Oh, okay. Love you.
All right, there we go.
Joining me for the Eagles pick are 6 high school tackle and flag football captains for teams across Clark County and Las Vegas. They truly exemplify the NFL's values of respect, integrity, resiliency, and responsibility to their teams. Congratulations to all of you on your accomplishments, and good luck on the upcoming season.
Yeah, Ryan, I think you're right. I think Jordan Davis is the guy because I think Baltimore is going to take him.
The 13th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so freaking smart.
You're so smart. You were on that 5-year program.
There. I'm so smart I can't turn off the speaker. But I mean, I think that's smart just to get in front of them if you really want Jordan Davis. I think that's a good pick. I agree with it. Fletcher Cox is getting a little old for them, and I think Jordan Davis now becomes the new Fletcher Cox. So
yeah, well, especially with the way, and I'd be curious if we'd want to do a video or do a research on this. But teams that have been some of the best run offensive teams in the league, I wonder if then if that also corresponds to like, hey, we want to be the best run defense in the league as well. And the Eagles had the best run defense, best run offense last year, and if I'm not mistaken, one of the best run defenses last year as well. Or was that reverse? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if they had a weak pass defense. But
the Ravens pick is in already.
So the Ravens. No, you're good. So a lot to unpack here, but I mean, 3 back-to-back trades, and then now the Ravens are picking where they're supposed to be at. For me, I'm thinking if you're the Ravens, they had one of the worst pass defenses last year. I'm thinking
a lot of that was due to injury, though.
Fair.
Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphreys both had season-ending injuries.
Yes.
I don't think that is as big of a need as people.
So I would say I would just love just to see what it would be like in the Twitter sphere and how people would react. What if they took Malik Willis here? They won't. They won't
do that.
They won't. But I like that. I like that Jordan Davis pick, though.
I do like that Jordan Davis pick. So speaking of Georgia defensive linemen, what about Devontae Wyatt here for the Ravens?
They could. I mean, as we talked about, we debated on previous mock drafts how Devontae Wyatt. Now, the one thing, Jordan Davis is the big guy, but Devontae Wyatt is the 3-down guy. Who, if you just had to make a difference, if you're Jordan Davis, I mean, plugging him up in the middle and they're showing the highlights here now where he did seem a little inconsistent on the pass rush, just providing pressure. Only because he was so big.
Worst case scenario, you have the best run stuffing defensive tackle, Jordan Davis.
Oh yeah, and then in that division where you're going to have Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, and then also
Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins.
Well, you're not going to be using Jordan Davis to stop Lamar Jackson.
No. But the up the middle stuff.
Antonio Gibson with
Antonio
Washington.
Gibson.
That's what I was thinking of. Lamar Jackson, you're going to want speedy edge rushers for speedy, rangy linebackers.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there we go.
With trying to stop Lamar Jackson, you're going to want speedy edge rushers, speedy linebackers. Yeah. Jordan Davis is going to be the one to stop the running backs. Then I think to also match up well with your run game, which is what the Eagles have. So,
and I think the fact that he has the pass rush upside as well is why he's so highly touted.
You know what this makes me think is with Philadelphia trading a lot of late round picks. It makes me wonder if there's a potential trade in the works with Green Bay or a Kansas City. The trade up for that 18th pick. Yeah. So then they can get a couple of late round picks back.
Yeah. I also wonder too if they got in a bit of a bidding war there with Baltimore, and Baltimore was like, "Well, we'll give you the 14th and then this," and then Houston went back to Philadelphia and it was like, "Well, they're offering me a fourth and a fifth." Like,
and not just Baltimore. I think Pittsburgh as well. Also could have been in there. Potentially Green Bay with the 22nd pick. I think they would have had to given up a little bit more. I think Houston would have taken that if Green Bay had to give up a little bit more. So maybe not. I think Pittsburgh might have been the latest that would have been interested in trading there because that would only be 7 spots back. If they really wanted a quarterback. But that being said, though, still a quarterback hasn't been taken. Does not look like a quarterback's going to be taken here for a little bit.
Washington is coming up at, what is that, 16, 15 next?
Yeah, they could take a quarterback there.
They could take a quarterback. Pittsburgh at 20 in six picks. There's definitely a few things here. We haven't talked too much about what we think this Ravens pick is going to be, though.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
I said Devontae Wyatt, the other Georgia defensive lineman, would be the third one to go off.
I mentioned Trent McDuffie, cornerback help as well. I will say also, any linemen here you think that they might take? Do you think this might be a little bit too early for Bernard Raymond? Maybe too much of a stretch for Tyler Smith?
It looks like we're about to find out.
The Baltimore Ravens select Kyle Hamilton, defensive back.
I totally forgot about him.
I totally forgot about Kyle Hamilton.
He fell so far that I actually forgot he was on the board.
Yeah, I think that honestly, and now that that's said, I like that pick.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Because that addresses both of what we just talked about.
Yeah, best player available. They didn't have that same safety presence that they had when they had Earl Thomas and some of the other Hall of Fame guys that they played with back there. So I think that's a great pick for them.
Yeah.
So very Derwin James-esque on the slide. The Houston Texans pick is in at number 15 here. Washington's at 16, not 15, like we said earlier.
Oh, sorry. But, and Houston's at 15. To me, I'm looking at I think Jermaine Johnson. I think this is where he comes off the board here.
I like Jermaine Johnson here. George Karlaftis is another edge rusher here.
Yeah.
They got their corner. I doubt it's a corner. They got Derek Stingley already. I don't want it to be a quarterback. I like Davis Mills a lot. I think he did a really good job last season on a bad team, which says a lot. Jermaine Johnson makes a lot
One
of sense there.
second. We might need to double check this here.
What?
Just received a sleeper notification that Marquis Brown was traded to the Arizona Cardinals.
For what?
I don't know. Ravens have traded Marquis Brown to the Arizona Cardinals. It has to be for a first-round pick, right?
The Cardinals, I don't think, have a first-round pick.
They do.
No,
The
they
23rd.
do.
Yeah, the 23rd. To the Cardinals for pick 23 per source. Ravens have traded Hollywood Brown and pick number 100 to the Cardinals for the number 23 pick. Wow. Holy cow. So now who?
That is a horrible trade by the Arizona Cardinals.
Actually, I agree. I feel like the
horrible
Cardinals need so much stuff more. I mean, you have DeAndre Hopkins. They don't have who is their guy that just signed with Jacksonville?
Christian Kirk.
They don't have Christian Kirk, but they still have AJ Green, don't they? I guess maybe they don't have a really AJ Green. I think is a free agent now.
Okay, but Marquise Brown has done very little for the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, so Marquise Brown, he's a speedy slot guy, correct?
Yeah.
So he might fit that system a little bit more with the system that the Cardinals want to run, a little bit more than whatever they're doing in Baltimore, in my opinion. Shifty guy can be very versatile.
But my thing is he hasn't stayed healthy. He that makes no sense to me. Why the Arizona Cardinals would do that? That is that's the worst trade we've seen so far.
Yeah, for the players, yeah. Well, but then now on the flip side with the Ravens, who do the Ravens now have at receiver? To me,
Bateman. I mean, they could be in the running for a guy like Treylon Burks. Here's the Houston Texans pick.
22 NFL draft. The Houston Texans select Kenyon Green.
Ooh.
Texas A&M.
Okay.
He's not even the best guard on the board.
Texas in the Houston area. Two-time consensus All-American, can play a bunch of positions.
Who is the best guard on the board?
Zion Johnson out of Boston College.
Okay, so you would have liked Zion Johnson there?
Well, I wouldn't have liked either of them. The guard position is the easiest one to play. I would have liked Bernard Raymond, the tackle, or Trevor Penning better than either of those guards. I don't like that pick. You there? No. Okay. The Washington Commanders pick is in, but I don't like that pick. I don't like the pick from the Texans. I think that is a pick where you can make a bigger splash, and I don't think that is a pick where you can get the same amount of value. Let me rephrase that. You can get a starting caliber guard in the third and fourth round. That the guard position is the easiest position to play on the offensive line. I personally would have much preferred a tackle there that can play on the opposite side of Laramie Tunsil. You still have guys like Trent McDuffie on the board. I know they took Derek Stingley, but Jermaine Johnson, and that's a really tough one to throw that early of a pick at a guard. So I struggle with that one. While we wait for Tyler to get back, if any of you guys want to ask a question here in the comments, that would be great.
Hi there.
What is up?
Not much.
Internet issues again?
I think you guys are witnessing the pretext of what a future call to AT&T looks like. So,
I was just ranting about how I think that they could have gotten a lot better value out of that pick by drafting one of the tackles, Jermaine Johnson, Trent McDuffie, because I really feel like throwing a first-round pick, especially a top half of the first-round pick at a guard, just doesn't give you good value when you can find a starting caliber guard in the third and fourth, possibly fifth round.
Well, also, especially too, when I think that this guy potentially could have been available with their second round pick, which I think
35.
would have been, but that's based off just our projections. They could have obviously seen something totally different. So as we'll see, as we'll see, but it's going to be very interesting to see. I love all of the interior linemen. Oh, sorry. Well, I guess just linemen taken.
Yeah.
Both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. This is where I think a lot of the battles are won, and where a lot of the games are decided. And I think if we're looking at this now, if we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, 8 over half of the picks so far have been on the lineman side of the ball. And so now we have the Commanders' first pick as the Commanders coming up here.
Yeah.
Who do you think they are taking?
Not Jermaine Johnson. He is ESPN's number one player left. I would say Trevor Penning, Bernard Raymond, possibly this is where we could see the first quarterback come off the board. Oh, I just saw the pick. Let's put it on the screen for you.
If I had to guess, I have not.
You're not going to
seen
guess it. You're not going to guess it.
The Washington Commanders select Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State.
We have a new worst pick, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new worst pick of the first round so far this year.
1 second. I got to write this down. And think about what I need to say. Because a lot just happened. Because then also another thing I'm going to bring up here in a second. But with this trade, I like Jahan Dotson. Don't get me wrong. But this is now panic now. It seems like of a run of receivers that is coming off. Not that I don't think – I think he can come in and potentially be a good receiver, but this definitely seems like a risk. It seems like a stretch. And I guess he does add special team values as well, but I don't know if you want your first round pick to be doing punt returns. But this is a stretch.
Oh.
This is definitely a stretch. So
there were a lot of people that didn't even like him in the second round.
But I have to bring this up because this is almost bigger news. I think the Tennessee Titans are about to pick here.
The Chargers, the Chargers pick is in.
Well, yeah, then I think the Titans are picking next. Do you know why?
Oh, with the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson?
No. Well, but do you know why the Titans are picking next?
Did they trade AJ Brown?
They traded AJ Brown. Well, here, yeah. What's the Chargers? I don't even know who the Chargers picking. I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah. Oh
Zion
my God,
Johnson.
Zion Johnson.
Holy cow!
Oh
Holy
my
cow!
God.
Okay, I do like this pick. Taking
Well, they have very few needs after the free agency that they had, and I don't like taking a guard in the first round.
Well, fair, but I mean, I think he fits this well though, with how much that their offense improved.
Philadelphia Eagles trade pick to the Tennessee Titans. It's official. Oh
Holy
my gosh.
cow! So does that mean the Colts are now winning the AFC South?
Oh yeah.
Are the Titans
my
going to take?
God.
Are the Titans going to take a quarterback here? Are you serious? The Eagles are sending the number 18 and 101 picks for AJ Brown. Holy cow!
Okay, this
Holy
offseason has
cow.
been insane. This offseason has been crazy.
Ryan, I just want to let you know that you started this whole thing by saying that, oh, wow, no picks taken in the top 10. Wow, when was the last time that happened? There's literally been 6 picks since that has happened. 6 trades since that has happened.
6 trades, 8 picks. Holy cow. As Harry Carey would say. Holy cow.
So what are the Titans going to do here? I mean, I'm trying to think. I didn't think AJ Brown was on the table. Holy cow. Now the Eagles are
loaded. Oh my
Now we know why
God.
they traded up. The Eagles are in an obvious win now mode. Well, I guess every team's going to win now mode. Holy cow. What is Adam Schefter saying right here? Holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, so now are the Titans just shipping it in? I mean, is that what this is?
They still have the 26th pick.
I guess they could take a receiver then also, but they could take a lineman here maybe, because I know they need lineman help. I think, oh my gosh, imagine if they take a quarterback here.
Oh my gosh.
If they take a quarterback here,
is in. Oh my gosh. Mike Vrabel's about to get fired.
Well, I don't know if it's Mike Vrabel that's making the picks.
Okay. Somebody.
Trading AJ Brown,
top 10 receiver in the NFL. Like,
yeah, easy. Now he's on. Hey, I will say, you know who's licking his chops, but also super nervous? Jalen Hurts, because if they're making all these trades, they're getting these receivers for him.
Who'd they trade up for at 13? Oh, Jordan Davis.
Davis.
Oh yeah, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown,
Dallas Goedert. They do still have.
Goddard. Is it Quez Watkins?
Quez Watkins. They also have Jalen Reagor. This is that other receiver that we were talking about that the Eagles needed this, because with their run game now, I mean, if they could put some pieces together now, because AJ Brown, I think, is the perfect complement to Devontae Smith, the exact opposite type of receiver.
Oh yeah,
exact opposite.
But Devontae Smith is like a Chris Olave, but like to the max.
Better,
and those are both, like, you have wide receiver, like AJ Brown is a 1A and Devontae Smith is a 1B. Like, now that's,
I mean, with Devontae Smith having potential to be a 1A.
Oh yeah, you could have 2 1As. The only thing now that they're going to have to worry about is the salary cap, because they're going to have to pay these guys at some point.
But Devontae Smith, they're going to take the 5th-year option with Devontae Smith. They got 4 years to worry about that. AJ Brown, I think, is going into his 3rd year. Yeah. Now, is he going into his 4th year?
4th year, yeah.
And they'll sign him to an extension, and then with the expected increase in the salary cap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Geez, that's insane. We didn't even have any time to even talk about the Chargers getting Zion Johnson.
But okay, so that's a great pick for them. I still don't like spending an early round pick on a guard. But I think that's a great pick because he can
My
come
wife,
in and play right guard.
Brittany, my wife, just texted me. Why did the Titans trade AJ Brown? $5 exclamation points. I don't know. I know she can hear me right. She's in the other room. That's absolutely so to me, that tells me, are the Titans going into a full rebuild?
I don't know. I don't like to me. I think with Derrick Henry, I think they're still too talented. I think with Derrick Henry, that puts their floor at.
But now, I mean, legitimately, who do they have to throw to?
I guess they're going to draft some people, but
I mean, but who are they going to take with this pick? Are they going to take an offensive? I mean, maybe they'll take an offensive. Maybe we'll see Bernard Raymond come off the board here, but
Bernard Raymond, Trent McDuffie is another one. Jermaine Johnson, I think a lot of their pass rush came from the interior last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe,
but
does
not look happy there in the war room for the Tennessee Titans.
But it's what I was saying though is, I mean there were going to be edge rushers available. I think, especially with the way this draft was going for them, or was going at 26. I mean, George Karlaftis is still on the board. Yeah. There's still a couple of Jermaine Johnson's still on the board. There's Travis Jones is still on the board.
Devin Lloyd is still there. Maybe they're going after Devin Lloyd.
Yeah. Wow, this has been a crazy hour. If you're checking in with us, which I'm sure you are, this has been absolutely insane. The pick is in here with Tennessee.
I think they're about to announce it. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the volume. If I can.
I don't know what's worse, my internet or that remote.
I know. Oh my God. There we go. Holy cow. That was a pain.
The Tennessee Titans select Traylon Burks, wide receiver.
Wow.
That is why they traded AJ Brown. Holy cow. Wow.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, I guess he's the same thing, but he's unproven, isn't he? I mean,
he's unproven. He's not AJ.
That's
Brown
the only
coming out of
difference,
college.
right?
No, there's a big difference. AJ Brown coming out of college was an elite route runner. At Mississippi State, they ran a lot of pro concepts, and AJ Brown was running pro level routes his last year at Ole Miss. Traylon Burks is bigger, stronger, faster. Runs a third of the routes that AJ Brown ran coming out of college. And when I say bigger, stronger, faster, he's 6'3" to 6'1", 225 to 215. It's a minute difference, but big difference in overall skill level.
Well, it is funny. I mean, obviously, they're comparing the two right now, with their picks. But maybe one thing they talk. I mean, they also compared to Deebo Samuel
issue too. There has to be a contract dispute in there somewhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's going to be a big thing. So now they have 5 years now. Traylon Burks, if he can evolve into the person that they think he can be. But you had a proven thing in AJ Brown, and now with the Traylon Burks, who is unproven, who obviously has a lot of talent there, but man, I mean, that's given up a lot. I do think it is a contract thing because they did pay Derrick Henry, and they need to get an offensive line help, and they still have their other pick here later on in the draft. But I mean, if you're the Eagles, though, I mean, you're taking that. I mean, you're getting a sure thing with Well, I mean, barring injury, but you're going to get a receiver here, but there's going to be some question marks for now, man. You take AJ Brown in a heartbeat.
Especially like they can run AJ Brown. They can use AJ Brown like Deebo Samuel. And they can utilize him in that offense.
Hey,
like Deebo Samuel.
This is a good point. There's not too many of these, but this is a good point by the NFL draft. And if you think about it, over the last 10 picks, 8 receivers have moved. 6 have been drafted, and 2 have been traded. Yeah. Now, of course, Marquis Brown, that pick hasn't come up yet for the Ravens, but still, over the last 10 picks, 8 receivers have moved.
At least the Titans one, they got a first-round pick and a third-round conditional pick. The Marquis Brown one, they got a first-round pick for what has been a 5th-round career. Like, he has not, in my opinion, been very good.
Man, I mean, if you're looking,
I might have to go refill my beverage.
I think I'll have to do that as well, but I'll hold it down. I'll get Brittany to bring it out. And so, hey, have you posted this stream on social media yet? Have you?
No, I haven't. I thought you were.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
It should be in the chat if you go.
I checked that. Yeah, I checked that. I didn't see it. Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet.
Are you at the stream chat or private chat?
Private chat and stream chat. Yeah, if you just want to do it, I can share it. So
I just put it in there again. It's really not a big deal. We're already over halfway through.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
The Saints are picking here. For me, I think this is Bernard Raymond. Personally, I think this is offensive line or Trevor Penning. That's fair. I think offensive line. I think is going to be the way that it goes here.
Yeah.
Especially with all the receivers that are off the board now.
Yeah. So this is actually surprisingly ironic for me. Not ironic, but I'm very surprised it's gone this way. The draft has been extremely offensive heavy, in my opinion.
Well, just receiver heavy.
Well, you have 2 guards, 6 wide receivers. That's 8 picks. Then you have all 3 of the tackles that went in the first round. It looks like here we can talk about it here in a second, but the Saints are about to announce their pick. By the time there we go.
From all the American airmen serving in the United Kingdom and being supported by the Royal Air Force Lake and USO, we are excited to announce the first-round draft pick for the New Orleans Saints. As the sole air-refueling wing in Europe and Africa, we project air power around the globe.
But
the largest U.S. fighter operation in Europe, ready to employ combat air power at a moment's notice.
I was very surprised at how many offensive players have gone off the board and not at very many defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you to our U.S. Air Force service members and all of those serving our great nation domestically and around the world. With the 19th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Trevor Penning.
Yeah.
Tackle, Northern Iowa.
All right. Quick thoughts.
I mean, no, like I don't disagree with the pick at all. Like I know I said Bernard Raymond, but this is lineman all the way. Yeah. And obviously the Saints are going to have. I mean, people, and I mean they're. When it comes to football smarts, are much smarter than myself. But just from the onset, to me, it was very obvious, especially once when they traded for that second pick, or for the second first-round pick, that they were going to have a receiver and an offensive lineman because those are the 2 main things that they need. If they like Trevor Penning, then that's who they should have taken there. And so I don't think the wrong pick would have been going defensive lineman. The wrong pick would have been going cornerback here. The wrong pick would have been going quarterback, and so they need offensive line help desperately. And so I think this is a good pick for them.
Yeah, no, I couldn't really disagree with that pick. He is a bit of a developmental guy, but honestly, the Saints are not in a win now mode, especially with Tom Brady coming back to Tampa Bay. That is, Tampa Bay is going to win that division, so I think that's a good prospect for them to get in front of Jameis Winston and then also whoever is next. But it is a good pausing point for the draft, so we are going to take a minute break, go refill our beverages.
I can stay on. And talk a little bit here, and so because
all right.
I don't have to go because I have my woman fetching me beer, and so I can say that because no one's watching this right now, which is good.
This is going to be uploaded after, so you never know.
And once again, still no one will watch this.
Be used against you.
So hello, lovely lady. Thank you.
All right.
6, 7, and an 8-inch.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yes, everyone, as my wife said, Trevor Penning is 6 feet 7 inches and 7 1/8 inch tall, large human being. I myself am 6 feet 2 inches, which is 5 inches smaller, but still get the job done, right, babe? So, anyways, but thank you for yes, as we are expecting here in September. So. Crazy draft. If you're just now joining us, subscribe to this channel. We would be greatly appreciative of it. I myself am Tyler Tracy here with my brother Ryan, and I am a Falcons fan, unfortunately, and Ryan chose wisely and is a Patriots fan. And I think, did you change jerseys?
No.
Did you? Oh, you always had your ground. I thought you had your Troy Brown jersey on there.
I don't have a Troy Brown jersey. I wish
you
I
used
did.
to. You used to, but I guess
he's one of my favorite Patriots of all time. Actually,
yeah.
Obviously top up there, but
you guys have a lot of guys like that definitely stick with the franchise. You know, guys that like that system, fit well in that system, and stay there for a long
Bill,
time.
I mean, with the Patriots coming up here, I know the Steelers are on the clock, but Bill usually drafts those guys that are like loyal, smart.
Well, they're all guys that I think fit really well in that system, but also are fine taking $7 million instead of trying to max out their contract. You know, to me, I think it's insane. I mean, I totally get it. If someone's going to pay you $30 million to do a job, why would you not go take $30 million to do a job? But to me, also the flip side though is then don't complain then when you're on a losing team and you're not winning Super Bowls. You know, because it is a team game, and then also there's the business side of it as well, where you're going to have to pay for good players. I'm a Falcons fan right now. Always will be. But we just had to trade Matt Ryan because after the Super Bowl where we lost to you guys that everyone knows about, we signed Matt Ryan to a $40 million a year extension contract. We signed Julio Jones to a $20 or $21 million. So 2 players were getting a third of our salary cap. And we've picked 8th overall over the past 2 years. So if that means anything on what that does, the Patriots, one thing, especially looking back on it now, that I kind of admire with Tom Brady is he's never really had a contract where he's got more than $20-25 million in a year. Only $20 or $25 million in a year. I mean, that's still the dude is
okay,
living handsomely, but he knows also on the back end he needs an offensive line. So that's $15 to $20 million that his offensive line could have. Or they could go to his offensive line to protect him. Or to a weapon that he can throw to.
I am all for praising Tom Brady as much as possible. However, Tom Brady had the luxury of having a wife that makes more money than him as probably the best quarterback to ever play football. Together, they are worth almost $1 billion. So he took a pay cut, but we all know he was getting that money just from somewhere else.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I love my wife. My wife's not Giselle. She's not worth $1 billion. It's like if someone offered me $20 million, I would sign it without questioning and be like, "Oh, you could have 40. That's great. I'll take 20 because I want to win Super Bowls.
I'll be the tag.
I want to go
for 20 million.
Oh yeah. Like I want to take 20 because I want to win Super Bowls. Now, then the longevity of his success. Now, it's great that Giselle is worth $1 billion more than Tom Brady.
But it allows him to do that.
But it's like,
Because like Dak Prescott's
allowed.
struggling
See,
to
so
raise his
I don't.
family.
I don't.
Here's
I don't.
the Steelers pick. Hold on.
Go ahead. Do you think quarterback's going to be taken here?
Kenny Pickett.
This season marks the 50th
Do you think it's going to be Kenny Pickett?
of one of the most memorable moments
If it's a quarterback, I think it's Kenny Pickett.
during the final seconds of the 1972 AFC divisional game.
It may be Malik Willis. It could be.
Made an improbable catch known as the Immaculate Reception. He here with us tonight to celebrate the 50th anniversary of that moment and to announce the pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Please welcome Pro Football Hall of Famer Franco Harris.
Oh my God! Hello, Las Vegas! Wow! I love this. I love this. With the 20th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers
That felt good.
select Kenny Pickett,
Yeah.
quarterback, Pittsburgh. Yeah!
The first quarterback coming off the board. All right, this is full of feel-good stories tonight. You have Aiden Hutchinson staying in Michigan, going to the Detroit Lions. You have Akim Ekwonu staying in Carolina. The Carolinas going to the Carolina Panthers. Now you have Kenny Pickett staying in Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I like it. I mean, and this is where I know we had the video come out where I say like I don't think a quarterback's gonna be taken in the draft, and this was the spot where I think this was the spot where I was nervous on because honestly, then especially in the way the draft has gone, I don't think I could see another quarterback not being taken.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like I like Pittsburgh taking quarterback here. They signed Mitchell Trubisky. He's going to need a little bit of work. I do also. I mean, I'm a sucker for a feel-good story. This, to me, I mean, I think it fits it well, if that makes sense. This is a team that needs a quarterback. He's arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the class. You could have a debate between him, Malik Willis, maybe throw in Matt Carroll or Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral. But one of the things I like about Kenny Pickett, and they're showing the highlights here, is he fits the mold of what now the modern day QB needs to be. He's a guy that can run, but he's also a guy that has a cannon as well. So that's
I
where
wouldn't say he has a cannon, but like he has a stronger arm than Mac Jones, but he's not Zach Wilson. If that's a fair comparison.
Yeah. Do you mean like arm strength wise?
Yeah.
It's fine. He can only throw it 60 yards instead of 70 yards. So that's fair. So,
well, but like Mac Jones has enough arm strength. And Kenny Pickett has more than that, but he's not like a Zach Wilson.
Yeah. The biggest thing though is his dual threat capability. I mean, I wouldn't say dual threat. He's just an athletic guy that could throw the ball. And I think that's going to potentially translate well. And now kind of done with that because now there's a major announcement as you were correct here.
Traded back. Shocking. Yeah. Probably getting another second round pick in that trade, going back to I think 29. This pick is Trent McDuffie here, by the way. It's going to be Trent McDuffie.
You don't think they'd take a receiver here? With all the receivers taken off the board?
Who left? I mean, I guess theoretically they could take George Pickens, but then he would be competing with
George
MVS and then Juju Smith-Schuster. I think that'd be a lot of outside receivers. I take
they could take Sky Moore. Yeah,
I was going to say Sky Moore.
Yeah.
So they could take a receiver here.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see who Kansas. It's either the 29th or 30th pick. The 29th pick. Sorry, I was thinking Kansas City had the 28th and 29th pick, but no, they had the 29th and 30th here. So I think shockingly, as you said, they called it here, or you called it. Yeah, I like Trent McDuffie here.
I like Trent McDuffie. Jermaine Johnson, they do need some pass rush. But I'm not surprised to see New England trade back and acquire more picks, especially after the huge run of wide receivers.
Mhm.
And also, too, you still have 3. I'm not a big fan of Kyer Elam. I watched a little bit more tape on him today, and he's just he's a little clunky for me. But I still like Andrew Booth Jr. and Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
So, but guys like Jermaine Johnson, Trent McDuffie, I could see them going here. So, what does Brittany think of the trade? Can we get a little cameo here?
I don't think she knows about it yet.
Okay.
She probably doesn't care
Okay.
to a great extent here. So, she's probably curious, but but I will say for you guys though, I mean, I'm trying to look and see
what the trade was.
Well, I mean, it was probably something maybe the first and a third, like the 29th and then like the 100th pick maybe, and the fallback that far.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than that.
You can go to Twitter. On
Yeah,
the
I think
laptop here. See what Shefty's tweeting. Notifications.
let's see here.
Update. Oh, God. I don't like that. They didn't get a second. They got an extra third and an extra fourth.
That sounds about right, though. I mean, I just said that. I honestly, the fact that you got an extra fourth, I think, is good.
Yeah, the only way I like it is if we use
there's
it.
still a lot of value in the second round. I don't think that.
No, we got a third and a fourth.
Is the pick in?
Oh yeah, it's coming
yeah.
up.
First pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
Defensive back, Washington.
Nice.
I guess the Patriots just didn't like McDuffie that much. I personally did. A little bummed about that, but I mean, we'll see. I'm curious to see what the Patriots do because that puts them at 11. I think 11 picks.
Yeah, maybe, but that's a Patriots thing to do is to go and try and find those diamond in the roughs guys that fit the system well. And if they think that Trent McDuffie doesn't fit that system well, then I don't think they're going to go with him.
Yeah, but it's hard. Okay, so from the outside in, it's hard for me to imagine a more Patriot player than Trent McDuffie. He's extremely smart. He can play both man and zone schemes. He's a very good tackler. Has good ball skills.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. That's hard for me to imagine. I'm curious to see if they take that 29th pick and then package it with like maybe the fourth to move up a few more spots. If like a guy like Jermaine Johnson falls, or if Andrew Booth Jr. makes it down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
so,
they could. Yeah. I mean, they could, but it's especially now we're getting to the point of the draft where a lot of time, these guys, these are the guys that if they don't pan out, you don't consider them a bust, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? We're starting to get to the point where even these guys now are projects. They have a lot of upside, a lot of potential. But these are the guys sometimes that don't pan out as well. So the Patriots taking them there. And if I'm not mistaken, you said that was the 29th pick?
Yeah, correct? They got the 29th, the 94th, and then the 121st. So
Okay, I gotta update that here. So, and the Packers pick is in.
The Packers pick is in. This first round has gone by fairly quickly. It's only 10:30, and we're already 10 picks away from being done with the night. So
yeah, I thought about that too.
Last year we were up till about 12:30 talking about these.
Well,
picks,
it's fine. It's up till 12:30, and I feel like that last year was the one where we knew what was going on. Yeah, we knew what was going to happen on the first 4 or 5 picks. So
yeah.
I know. I think it does help also that it is also in Mountain Standard Time out, or is that
Yeah.
is Vegas Mountain? Or I think they're Pacific actually. Never mind, I take that back.
Yeah, they're 3
Oh.
hours behind. So, 'cause
Well,
they're-
view, yeah,
2 p.m. But,
yeah. So
all right.
3 for
Trent
AJ
McDuffie-
Brown now.
Wait, what?
I said 3 hours behind for AJ Brown now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So quick recap. Kansas City Chiefs traded up to 21, giving up 3 picks. And they drafted Trent McDuffie. I like that pick. They needed cornerback depth, especially in that division. Oh man, that division is insane. And now the Packers pick is in. It looks like they are about to announce it. So quick prediction here. I'm going to go with Bernard Raymond as my pick. Or no, Trevor Penning is still on the board, right?
No.
Yeah, Bernard Raymond.
I want to go with Sky Moore. I think they're going to grab.
Sky
I think
Moore.
they're going to nab that receiver here,
Okay.
especially with
Get Aaron
Baltimore picking
Rodgers
up
a weapon.
next.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Baltimore picking up next.
Yeah.
He is by a wide margin the highest ranked player on Mel's board who is still available. He is the pass rusher out of Florida State. Let's see if that's the direction they go. The Packers have 2 picks as we continue this night in the first.
I doubt they go with an edge rusher. I think that they have a pretty solid defense. They need to address that offense badly.
Yeah.
NFL draft. The Green Bay Packers select Quay Walker, linebacker.
Wow.
All right, we'll start with this. His first name is Jaquavian, and he goes by Quay. And now he certainly works the
I don't know. I mean, I don't dislike the player, but I mean, maybe they're thinking that they can find receiver value later on in the draft. I mean, they do have a pick coming up here in 6 picks, but I mean, Baltimore just traded Marquis Brown. Like, I would have to think.
And they
that
just
know
traded
that
Baltimore just traded to the Bills. Right there.
Jeez, wow, holy cow.
I like Quay Walker. He's a very tough evaluation because Channing Tindall and Nakobe Dean are both right there to play alongside him. And so when you play with 3 guys that are going to be day 1 and day 2 picks, it's a hard evaluation. So you kind of have to go off of his physical traits.
Yeah.
And he's also another guy that for some reason has just flown up draft boards lately. Again, I'll repeat myself. The Buffalo Bills have traded up with the Baltimore Ravens from 25 to 23. So we will see what the Buffalo Bills have in store here at the 23rd pick. But what do you think of Quay Walker there at 22?
I mean, I think they need linebacker help and defensive help. I mean, I know they have Devondre Campbell, who former Falcons player, great guy, really improved a lot, or really helped that defense improve. Personally, though, I would have liked to if they would have gone secondary, if they were going to address the defensive side of the ball. Yeah.
I can maybe see it like safety. Daxton Hill is still on the board.
Yeah.
But they have Eric Stokes and Jair Alexander at corner.
Oh, well, sorry. I meant the entire secondary of it. But the safety side of the ball. For me, though, I mean, maybe a lot of receivers have been taken off the board. So I could see the logic of where they didn't want to like reach on a receiver now and try and get good value at the linebacker position. So I could see that. And especially then they're picking 28th. We'll see who's still on the board. And then they'll go receiver here. So
I would like to see them go with a George Pickens at
28.
At 28. I think that's a good fit. He's a good route runner, extremely physical guy.
I think that would be a good pick. I think that'd be a really good pick, especially then with New England and then Kansas City picking next, right after them for the 28th pick. So, but yeah, like, and this is where, and this is where, I mean, we could criticize the pick, we can compliment the pick. At the end of the day, though, the football experts in the Green Bay room are obviously going to see something that we didn't see. I just like Quay Walker. I would have picked him. I think he would have been an early second round, mid second round pick. I think
that's where I had him.
that's my thing. I think it's a little bit early for him. I think you still have Devin Lloyd that's on the board. You also still have N'Kobe Dean, also his running mate as well. So that's just my opinion on the matter.
I agree. Yeah.
So I have to take a timeout here if you want to entertain our guest.
I'll
do we have any guests watching us right now?
No.
Okay.
But I can talk about the Buffalo pick here real quick. So Buffalo traded up from 25 to 23. Interesting that they did that. I'm curious to see who they take here. I don't think it's going to be Jermaine Johnson. I think Jermaine Johnson is more of a let me start over there. I think Buffalo has invested a lot in the edge position, especially with Von Miller, Gregory Rousseau in last year's draft, and then with Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker. I think that they are pretty set at that position. I'm curious to see here if they traded up maybe for an Andrew Booth Jr., maybe a Daxton Hill, because that safety duo that they have of Jordan Poyer and the other guy that I can never seem to remember his name. I do think that they are getting older, so maybe Daxton Hill is who they traded up for, and they wanted to get in front of Baltimore. Although not Baltimore, who's at 24? I don't remember. Oh, Dallas. Maybe they wanted to get in front of Dallas and get a safety. So we will see coming up here shortly who the Buffalo Bills take. My guess is going to be Andrew Booth Jr. I just think he's probably the best fit. Tyler, you missed a very exciting segment there. I talked about the Buffalo Bills. Oh, you don't have your headphones in yet. Taking your time. Is that the right one or the left one? All right, there you go.
Sorry about that.
You get them in the right ears?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Well, they were all in a knot. I didn't like having them in a knot. So I had to fix that real quick.
No.
So the Ravens are getting a lot of draft capital here.
They are. And they are about to announce the pick. I think it's going to be Andrew Booth Jr. I think that's who it's going to be. Possibly Daxton Hill or maybe like a Devin Lloyd.
Do you think they go receiver here?
I highly doubt it.
I mean, Cole Beasley's gone. Sky Moore.
23rd pick to the Buffalo Bills. With the 23rd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Kaiir Elam.
Oh, okay. Take him.
Florida.
Take him.
If you think the last name sounds familiar, it's because it is. His dad, Abram, played 7 years in the league. His uncle Matt was the first.
I think that's a good pick.
I do too.
I thought you liked Kaiir Elam.
I just said 10 minutes ago. I watched a little bit more tape on him today, and I was just not that big of a fan.
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic because the Bills are in the AFC East.
No,
that's I thought
I picked him 10 minutes ago. No, it just if you look at a lot of his production, he played well against Alabama, and he's a very physical guy, but he gets himself into positions where he has to hold. A lot of his production came against like Vanderbilt or like the lesser competition of the SEC. And I think he is going to end up transitioning to safety just because of his physicality. I think he's going to be too physical for the cornerback position, and he gets himself in spots where I think has to hold more than the team would like him to.
Well, and then that's a good pick then, I think, also by the Bills, because then it adds that versatility, and they could potentially transition him to that, because the safety, similar to as what you talked about earlier, like with tackles going to guards, it's much easier for a tackle to go to a guard than a guard to go to a tackle.
Yeah.
Same thing with a corner going to a safety and a safety going to a corner. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. And so, but as we talked about, the Bills were wanting secondary help. Interesting to me. I guess maybe they really like Kyer Elam.
Yeah, I think they wanted to get in front of the Cowboys, who they know need a corner. So,
do they? I don't know if they need a corner. I mean, they do.
Yeah.
You think they're going corner here? You don't think they're going offensive line with Bernard Raymond in there?
Jermaine Johnson is going to be the Cowboys pick here.
Get him on the opposite side of Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Well, they lost not Greg Hardy, Randy Gregory.
Yeah.
And I just think Jermaine Johnson is kind of a plug and play fix for that.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. You can put him at edge rusher. You can put him at corner. You can put him at all the spots.
Well, I would put Jermaine Johnson at corner, but I think that is something that they could do. Also,
leave it up to Dan.
This is a sneaky spot for a linebacker. They cut I forget who their other linebacker was. Jalen I forget his name. But he got cut in the middle of last season, and then Leighton Vander Esch, their other middle linebacker, has been suffering with extreme neck injury issues, and hasn't even played a full season in his entire career. So I think this is a place we could see a guy like Nakobe Dean or Devin Lloyd go off the board, just to kind of complement Micah Parsons there. So just a sneaky spot.
It's interesting here to just to see Mel's top 5 here is he does not have any of those linebackers there, which I find kind of interesting. But I mean, I guess linebackers though is something that you can see very versatile. I also think like some safeties, potentially that were safeties in college could move up and potentially be linebackers. So that's where like there could be that transitional period as well. So
yeah, they have a ton of guys in this class that are like plus safeties that could potentially transition. So
yeah. So I like that pick. If Dallas were to go with Jermaine Johnson, or if they were to also go corner here, if they were to go corner, who do you think they would be going with?
The only first round corner that's really left is Andrew Booth Jr. Some people say Kyler Gordon is going to sneak into the first round, but we'll see. I
can see Minnesota taking him as a 32nd pick if we're going off technicality of going in the first round, because they need cornerback help, and so I could see them technically having Kyler Gordon go in there.
Yeah. You just kind of have to see, like, it's going to be a scheme fit for him. Minnesota is a really cornerback needy team, so they could be in a situation where they want to take the best cornerback that's available, and if Andrew Booth Jr. gets taken here, then he is. So
yeah, I feel you. So what a crazy draft. This has been absolutely totally opposite from last year's draft, where we didn't know who was going to be picked number 1 overall. And now there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades that have happened in the draft. And then there's still, of those trades, 3 picks still to happen from the trade. So 11 picks total will be kind of changed from the draft. So it's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see the aftermath of this on like how it's going to play out in the games. Cause like, I think now Philadelphia might be ahead of Dallas in that division.
Well, and it's not saying much because Dallas has a coaching issue. Dallas has, I mean, Mike McCarthy's one of the worst head coaches in the league. And now that the Eagles have a competent passing game.
The Dallas Cowboys, they are about to announce their pick.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to turn this on.
I'm going to say it's probably going to be something horrible like I can see Malik Willis being picked here. That's how horrible this pick's going to be.
NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Smith, tackle Tulsa.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not horrible.
It's not horrible. Not.
Yeah, it's not horrible only because I could see them. I mean, I was thinking Tennessee could potentially take him 2 picks from now, and it can grow him to the tackle that they want him to be. So I can see that pick happening. So them taking that here is not awful. And so also his name's Tyler, so he must be good. So
yeah, he must be a pretty nice guy.
I will say I do like that size too. He's 6'4", so he could kick inside at guard as well.
Yeah, he's extremely physical. The only thing, lower level competition, he's gonna have to play right tackle in Dallas. Probably
fine.
take over for that Lyle Collins role.
Yeah,
but that gives him a little bit more flexibility in that system because Dak is a right-handed quarterback. So, so I do like that pick. I think Jermaine Johnson would have been a good fit, or Nakobe Dean. I think also would have been a good fit there as well. Get a Ranger linebacker to go with Micah Parsons.
But to be fair, though, I feel like a lot of picks like this in this draft is like that. A lot of these guys, I think, on value they can provide on the field are all very similar. So it's just whoever they feel more confident in that they can contribute to their system, and so they feel like they're fine on the defensive side of the ball for now. But they need to address the offensive line. Then they go Tyler Smith. If they felt that their offensive line was fine, but they wanted to address the defensive side of the ball and give Micah Parsons a running mate, then they go with Jermaine Johnson. So that's where it all depends on how they value the players. It'd be different than if who was the guy that like Washington with a lot of corners that I think could have fit there, or linebackers as well, and then they take a big reach on Jahan Dotson, someone that they potentially could have gotten or a similar caliber in the second round as well. You know what I mean? So that's where I think the difference in like choosing this type of pick can come into play. So, but I mean, that being said, that we're starting to wind down to an absolutely crazy draft I still want to reiterate that you started after the Jets' second pick, saying, "Wow, no trades this draft," and no trades all so far. Hell broke loose.
Yeah.
So,
freaking Marquis Brown was traded. AJ Brown was traded.
Oh my gosh!
6 of the next 8 picks were traded. Like, holy cow!
Yeah, and so now with Baltimore up here for me, I know. I mean, I'm going to use your strategy. I'm eventually just going to say this name. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to say Sky Moore. To me, this is George Pickens. I think George Pickens. I think he can be a receiver 1 here in this system. They don't really have another receiver.
I think Rashad Bateman is that guy. I actually think Sky Moore would be a better fit schematically.
You think Rashad Bateman would be a better fit?
No.
To
Rashad Bateman
sorry.
There already. Sky Moore would be a better fit.
So Rashad Bateman's going to be kind of their big receiver, while Sky Moore can be their shifty slot receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
That's my prediction. If they go wide receiver, who is left on the big board here? They got Kyle Hamilton, not Daxton Hill. They could potentially go with one of the linebackers also. They have Patrick Queen there. They could get him a running mate. Nakobe Dean, I feel like, is a Harbaugh kind of guy.
I'm just checking. Devontae Wyatt's still available. Is
that? Yeah, he is still available. I do like that fit there as well. Let's see. George Karlaftis is still there.
Yeah. I think George Karlaftis is going to go next with the Titans.
What about Jermaine Johnson?
Fair. I think edge rusher will be next, but well, I don't know. Bernard Raymond's still there to. I will say that also being said, Bernard Raymond could go here as well.
He could, yeah. I
have
think
some
so.
offensive line depth to help protect Lamar Jackson and that running game.
Yeah. They are using all of this 10 minutes over here.
They are, yeah.
So it's like when you get in that fantasy draft and then that guy takes the whole time.
Oh, that's the worst kind of guy.
Yeah.
Worst kind of guy.
But yeah, so I am thinking edge rusher or tackle here, possibly for the Ravens. With I think the dark horse of a linebacker. I know I've said that 2 picks in a row, but I think they are a semi linebacker needy team, and I think the 2 best linebackers have fallen to them in Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd. So.
Yeah, I think that would be a good pick also. I mean, at this point in the draft, it's kind of tough to it's kind of tough to be critical of the picks, right? I would think. Oh, thank you.
I don't think so, but
yeah, the beer angel is here. So, I mean, I guess you could be, but it's like, if they take the top available linebacker compared to the top available defensive lineman, it's hard to be critical of that. Now, if they took a quarterback, then I would be critical of that pick.
If they took, if they took Josh Pascal, the defensive end out of Kentucky here, that's easy to be critical of. But if they take George Karlaftis over Jermaine Johnson, that's not a
that would be. I think we just sit here back and forth to me like. At the end of the day, they must have just decided that this guy is going to be better for their system. But up to this point, though, who do you think? I have my answer. Who do you think has crushed the draft so far?
Detroit.
You think Detroit's has crushed it?
Yeah, I think.
Why
so.
is that?
In my opinion, Aiden Hutchinson was the best player in the draft. Jameson Williams, if healthy, is the best wide receiver in the draft, and they got both of them. Those are 2 positions of need. I think their trade to move up with Minnesota was very fair. They still have a 2nd-round pick, and I think that is a win for them that they got those guys, and then they're still going to be on track to have a complete draft. They're not mortgaging this draft to get 2 guys.
So. Okay. All right. Okay. I would say that's fair. For me, I think for me, I'll say it here after this. It looks like the Ravens are about to pick.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Tyler Linderbaum.
Okay.
That's a good pick. I like him a lot. He's very physical.
I do like that pick. That was not a name that we were stating, but I mean, yeah, that's your center of the future. That's going to be your center.
Oh yeah. But he's very mobile, very athletic. He can get out. He's a good guy to pull. Very aggressive and active in space. So,
well, and that's really kind of what you're looking for, especially with that offensive line, because you want, when Lamar Jackson's running, you don't want. I mean, you want a center block to be there so that no one gets to it, but then you want that center block then to
run out in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think he fits that system really well, and so I think the Ravens then. The Ravens for me, and I'll say now, haven't had the best draft so far, but wow. Okay, sorry. Just seeing this now, the Titans have traded the picks to the Jets.
That's interesting.
Oh, wow, very interesting.
One of those early 2nd rounders.
Sorry about that. I think he fits their offensive line system very well. I remember you've had some criticisms of Tyler Linderbaum and his size, and all that aside. Yes, but all that aside, though, any doubts or questions about his size and his ability to grow, I think I think are eliminated with this system and with how they want to play football, which is going to be you're going to have a lot of athletic guys that can move, because Lamar Jackson, who knows where he's going to go. And if he decides to run, you're going to need offensive linemen then to be able to then run upfield as well.
Yeah.
And Linderbaum fits that. And also you're seeing him just manhandle some guys here in his high school wrestling. So,
yeah. Well, so that's one of the things like about him is he can only play center. He's I think like 6'3", like 285. And to play anywhere other than center, you have to be about 300. You can maybe get away with being 5 pounds light. 15 to 20 pounds light is too light. He'll get pushed around because there's certain rules that protect centers, and it just kind of gives him an advantage. So he's too light to play anywhere else. But at center, he's a first-round center. He is the best center prospect in this class. He plays with great pad level, great play strength. Tristan Wirfs, the right tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wrestled with him back in high school, and Tyler Linderbaum won.
Yeah.
That is just how physical of a person he is. So that is definitely something that I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be able to utilize. And you saw a lot of highlights of him getting out in front of running backs. I can just imagine what he's going to do to linebackers when Lamar Jackson rolls out of the pocket. So I think that's a great pick there by the Baltimore Ravens. To go back to your question, who do you think has won this draft so far? You think the Philadelphia Eagles have?
Yeah, I think the Eagles have. They grabbed Jordan Davis. Now they had to give up a couple of late round picks, but then you get Jordan Davis to solidify that defensive front line, which has been improving and been really good. And I think a guy who potentially could have a lot of upside, because we already know his size, and if he could get a little bit better in the passing game, holy cow. Then on top of that, not only do you get the receiver one of the future, like the bona fide receiver one, nothing against Devontae Smith, who could be a receiver 1A. But then you trade for the guy who is already established as you said earlier, one of the top 10 receivers in the league. If you're Philadelphia, now all the pressure now is on Jalen Hurts as like, hey, you're the guy that we want to be there. Go win us the Super Bowl now. Go take us to the promised land now. And if he's not able to do that this year, then that's going to be a lot of question marks are going to be had for this upcoming offseason, because
but then they have 2 first round picks
team
next
is
year
ready.
And they can go.
Well, absolutely, and this team is ready to win. They're ready to win now, and they can extend AJ Brown, give it a couple years, and then they can extend Devontae Smith as well. See how he pans out. This Eagles team is going to be very good.
So the Jets have traded – sorry, not to interrupt, but the Jets have traded back up into the first round with the Tennessee Titans at pick 26. We are going to put the audio on because they're about to announce this pick. I have a feeling this is Jermaine Johnson here.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'm going to change my answer from Detroit now.
I was actually just thinking that same thing. Especially if you look at these past two drafts. I still think I might stick with Philadelphia.
Ahmad Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and then now Jermaine Johnson. That is a good haul. That is a very good haul.
And then you have it combined with last year of Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera-Tucker, Elijah Moore.
And Javonte Williams.
And then
Javonte Williams, Michael Carter.
Yeah. This Jets team, it's amazing to me. Now it's like this AFC conference is only getting better. it is only getting
Oh yeah.
like deeper.
I don't think the Jets are
because
quite ready to compete yet.
but not this year, but next year. I mean, now you give a whole season of these guys under their belt. Zach Wilson, another year, to practice, and then have Elijah Moore going in his third year. You'll have Garrett Wilson, who could be a really good receiver going into his second year. I mean, and then also on top of that, you have Miami. You have then Buffalo as well, who is probably the division favorite, who then just bolstered up their secondary with drafting Kyer Elam. Even more. Then you have the Patriots, who are still the Patriots. It's crazy to me to think that the Patriots potentially could be the fourth best team in that division next year.
I mean,
right?
We'll see kind of what they can continue to do through the draft. They are going to be the team with the most draft capital in the division. So we'll see what they can do here in a couple picks and what they can do throughout the rest of the weekend. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, that division.
Whoa! Sorry, Jacksonville just traded with Tampa Bay.
Oh, it didn't even come up on the TV. It just was Jacksonville.
Is that a mistake?
No, I don't think so. Let's look at Twitter really quick.
Bucks trade pick 27. The Jaguars trade 33, 106, 180. Who are they taking here? Are they taking a receiver? Sorry, I know I sound like a broken record, but
maybe a corner. Andrew Booth Jr. is still on the board. They don't really have any corners.
Wow.
Or a linebacker. They also are fairly weak at linebacker. They could be getting a Devin Lloyd.
They could. Holy cow. Having to make a lot of adjustments here on my board. Holy cow, was not expecting any of that. It's very interesting too, because then also how all these trades, how they're affecting teams that are then picking it in the late 30s. So like I'm thinking of the Falcons as well. So now it's like you now have, if you look at it, Tennessee's picking in the early 30s now. Tampa Bay's picking in the early 30s now. Minnesota is now also picking in the early 30s now. So any game plan on what you think the Lions might be taking. Now this changes everything. So now are they going to then trade up with a team like go and try and grab their guy now? All because of you, and said that there weren't any trades in the top 10. So you started all of this.
There's been more picks traded after the top 10 than there have been just actual picks.
So who would Jacksonville be taking there? I think that's a fair point. I think it would still be defensive side of the ball. But that being said, what offensive weapons do they have? I know they still have Laviska Shenault. I know they just signed Christian Kirk.
Marvin Jones.
We do still have Marvin Jones, but Marvin Jones is definitely in the latter half of his career.
Christian Watson is a guy that was very much like DJ Chark.
Okay.
Big outside speed guy, ran a 4.3, except Christian Watson's bigger. That could be a potential receiver that they're taking. Let me see. George Pickens out of Georgia isn't on the ESPN top list, but that is a guy that I think they would be interested in.
I would like that pick.
I still think Andrew Booth Jr. getting in front of New England was big.
I would like the George Pickens pick.
I think that would be a good a good compliment to the receivers that they already have. I'm trying to think. Maybe a Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia. Get an interior pass rusher.
Really focus on a defensive front.
Yeah. That's another guy. There's a lot of different ways this pick could go because they still need a decent bit.
Well, but still, and it's like Jacksonville. I mean, they still need. Well, yeah, as you just said. I mean, it's not like they're one pick away from being Super Bowl contenders. I mean, they're still a long ways away from really contending. And so, I mean, this is really interesting.
Yeah,
this trade for them to trade up
at this point in the draft.
Yeah.
I also too. So I read an article today about Devin Lloyd, the supposed to be number one linebacker out of Utah, about how at the combine there was a lot of concern that was raising about his I think right knee, about how it could be bone on bone, like Todd Gurley, and that his career could be very short in the NFL. And it's curious to see that he's fallen all the way down when a lot of mocks had him at
well, shoot, ours were in the mid to late teens.
So yeah, it's an interesting fall for him. Kind of reminds me of Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah last year. He fell all the way down to 54, I think, to the Cleveland Browns when they took him. So
yeah. So they're showing Devin Lloyd now. I don't know. This is one of those things I haven't even thought about potentially on who they would take here. I do like that Andrew Booth Jr. pick, if I'm being honest, going cornerback here, because they've already addressed the defensive line. I think double dipping on the defensive line with Devontae Wyatt, I think might be. I mean, maybe, but I think that might be too much.
It looks like they are about to announce the pick, so I'm going to go to the TV here. Ninth trade.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have traded the 27th pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the 27th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah.
Carter, there he goes, Lewis. I know this is a player that you love. Great speed and versatility. 8 sacks, 4 interceptions last year, including the pick 6 and the back.
There we go. All right, finally.
Yeah.
All right, good pick. Linebacker number 1 coming off the board. I know he is the second linebacker, but he is the best linebacker in this class. I go back, when I think of him, I think of a quote back to when Michael Jordan was drafted. I know that's very high praise, but when Michael Jordan was drafted, the scouts called the coach over at North Carolina, and they were like, hey, we like Michael, but we want to draft a center because we need a center. And the coach responded back with, then play Jordan at center. And that, to me, is the epitome of Devin Lloyd's game. If you need an edge rusher, you can draft Devin Lloyd. If you need a pass coverage linebacker, you can draft Devin Lloyd. You need a strong safety, you can draft Devin Lloyd. Like that to me, it just epitomizes his game. So
yeah, I'd agree with the analysis of Devin Lloyd. I mean, I've always had him as the number 1. I think he's very versatile. I will need to say, considering the fact that we are we root for the Hoosiers, I think I'm going to have to call you out here a little bit on your historical context of that quote. That wasn't the UNC coach. That was Bobby Knight who.
that was Bobby Knight.
That was Bobby Knight who coached Michael Jordan in the Olympics. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Houston that was calling in. And then who was their center? No, it was.
Did they draft Clyde?
No, because Clyde Drexler was a
he
point
played
guard.
at Houston in college. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And then who was their center? I forget. Was it? No, it wasn't Elijah one. But either way, yeah. So, but I think that's a good comparison. I think that's a good quote because he just seems very versatile, very athletic. Hope he's able to stay healthy. And I like what Jacksonville has done. I mean, I can't complain too much about the Trayvon Walker pick and the Devin Lloyd pick as well. I think that at the time they had the ability and the capability and the assertiveness of going out and getting the guy that they want to go and get. And so they've done that, and I think that they're able to go to that. And I think, honestly, then actually they just showed the stat there. I like that pick of just the versatility that they had and all the different positions that he has played, all the snaps that he has played for Utah. So I like that pick. I think he's going to be great. I think adding a lot of youth, a lot of versatility on that defensive side of the ball. And now they kind of move on to the Packers. For me, there hasn't been a receiver picked since 10 picks ago, with the Tennessee Titans picking at number 18. This, to me, I think is going to be the next wave of receivers that come off the board. To me, this is going to be George Pickens. This is going to be Sky Moore. And I think can't tell. Are they picking?
I can't tell if they're about to announce it or not.
I know. Yeah, I just see
is that they're on the clock, but the pick is in.
Yeah. So
I think George Pickens is probably the guy here if they really like him. Sky Moore is a little bit more rough around the edges, and I know Sky Moore played this year, but I just think George Pickens is the wide receiver that Aaron Rodgers is the type of wide receiver that Aaron Rodgers has really connected with throughout his career. So
that's my thought process too, because I feel like it's similar. Like, you can go find shifty, fast, small receivers late in the round. I mean, shoot, go look at Tyreek Hill. I think he went to West Alabama, picked him up in the 5th round. You can go find those guys that can fit well in a system. A guy like George Pickens, though, who's 6'3", who's lanky, has speed, you're not going to find too many of those guys, and you need that type of mold. And so in your receiver one, I think George Pickens is going to be the pick here. In my opinion, just the way the draft has gone out, they have to get a receiver. They know they have to. I mean, not even just for Aaron Rodgers' sake, but just for the team's sake. I mean, nothing against Allen
They have
Lazard,
the worst receiving core in that division right now, and the Bears lost Allen Robinson this past year. I think Darnell Mooney is better than any receiver that they have.
I mean, Darnell Mooney and Allen Lazard, I think, are similar. I think are comparable, but I think that's fair, though, to say.
Yeah, I think they're about to announce the pick. I'm going to go to the TV here.
Go ahead. No.
Oh, they're doing a Man of the Year thing with Andrew Whitworth. We'll mute it for a second. We do have a viewer. Oh, no, never mind. They literally just left. Okay. I was going to say, if you want to ask any questions in the comments, feel free and we will answer. But I guess not. So I think they have to go receiver here. I think Aaron Rodgers might retire if they don't. So
well, I also not only but the way the draft has gone out, I think that makes.
Sorry, they're announcing it.
32 men drafted tonight will go on to do great things on the field, but they'll also make tremendous impacts in their communities. Nobody exemplified that more than Walter Payton. Named in his honor, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, is the most prestigious award a player can receive. Tonight, we are proud to have Andrew Whitworth, the 2021 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, here with us.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank y'all. Whose house? That's what I'm talking about. I am very humble and grateful to stand before you as the 2021 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. I would love to thank the NFL, the Payton family, and Nationwide for everything they do to support players as we try to make positive impacts in our communities. When I look back over
my are you watching it?
Yeah.
They had the helmets go up like they were about to announce the pick, and then they just turned it all off.
A lot of other teammates across the NFL, people in the want to take this opportunity to challenge the players of the NFL and encourage you and the prospects of this NFL draft. Take advantage of that opportunity. Don't let it go. Let's leave a legacy that lasts longer than just the game field. That shows who you are on and off.
This is a great speech.
To make an impact.
But let's get to the pick.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. That was a speech that could have been done over an Instagram post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, great man. We're so proud of
Sorry,
you.
why bring him out if they're not going to announce the pick?
Pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle, Georgia.
It's a good pick. It's just kind of a slap in the face to Aaron Rodgers.
Tonight in this first round, the Packers took Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, both from Georgia. They're the first team ever in the common draft to take two defensive players from the same school in the same draft in the first round. Now, that Georgia defense is one of the greats we've ever seen.
We would have been right up there. He is super quick. He is more of a one-gap type of player, but he has got all the pass rush moves. He is quick.
I haven't even muted the TV yet. Oh, the Patriots pick is in already. All right.
I just don't. I mean, it's nothing against Devontae Wyatt. It's just like, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's going to be other receiver value that they can go and get. I mean, but I'm thinking of a single, like one or two single names that are coming to mind in the second round that very well could be gone with the way that receivers have gone. The way they've been, so like George Pickens isn't going to fall to their second pick. Hell, the Atlanta's going to take George Pickens if they fall to their first or the second round picks.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Shit, the Patriots might take George Pickens right here. Like, you guys need receiver help. I mean, nothing against that. Nothing against Devontae Wyatt. For me, it is, who the hell are you going to throw the ball to this year? Unless if you have that much faith in Alan Lazard. Like, which I don't, but I'm not throwing
I was
the ball.
going to say,
so,
I don't.
I'm drinking a beer in my apartment in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm not in a mansion up in Green Bay, so it's totally different.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I do like both of our responses, just laughing.
But it's very Green Bay. I mean, haven't they done that the past 2 or 3 years now? Where it's like, hey, we need a receiver.
They trade back,
and then they go
and trade up for Jordan Love, the quarterback, and then
Eric
Stokes last year.
Yeah, and I like the Eric Stokes pick. Jordan Love verdict's still out on him, but for me, it's just in such a pass heavy league. I mean, now as all of a sudden, are the Packers going to now just become a defensive team,
defensive powerhouse?
Yeah. Which, I mean, they have a good defense, but it would also be nice to throw up 30 points. So,
especially with Aaron Rodgers in the latter, like not even the latter half, but like the last couple of years of his career.
The one thing I remember when they beat the Cardinals last year. It was the Cardinals' first loss. Aaron Rodgers didn't have 200 passing yards. If I'm not mistaken, I think both Devontae Adams and Marquez Valdez-Scantling were out for that game. And also, I think that was the game also Robert Tonyan tore his ACL. So they were very depleted, and they played small ball, and they played it to perfection. However, though, they barely beat Arizona
in the second
And
half
they-
of the season.
Well,
Right.
the end of the first half, it was like in the middle of the season.
Okay.
So, but however, that was one game. Can they play that type of game for 17 games? I don't think they can do that. I think teams will figure it out. I think teams will figure out how to play against that type of offense.
Mhm.
But with Devontae Adams and then Marquez Valdes scandling, and then when Robert Tonyan was healthy,
Yeah.
they had a very versatile offense. And then with Aaron
Yeah.
Jones in the backfield, they can run the ball whenever they wanted. Then who's their other running back?
It's not Zach Moss. It's the kid from Boston College.
Either way, but it's still a versatile backfield.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I do want to quickly talk about the Patriots here, though.
Go ahead.
Before they announce the pick. The pick's been in for a couple minutes now. Who do you think is going to go here?
Well, Andrew Booth Jr. is still available. I will say George
That's
Karlaftis.
the one for me that I see that I like. That
Andrew
I think is the
Booth Jr.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's the last corner of can come in and play caliber.
yeah. I mean, Lewis Steen's still available.
He's a safety.
Yeah, but
Jackson Hill also a safety.
Jackson Hill's also safety. I think you guys will still need that help.
Yeah.
It looks like they're about to announce the pick right here. I'm a little nervous.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Cole Strange, guard, Chattanooga.
We're going to describe that as a surprise. Mel, 6'5", 307 pounds, briefly went to Air Force, then to Chattanooga, now he's a first-round pick. Logan Jenkins had a first mistake for the Patriots, so him in the late first round. They shook their heads and said, how could you do that? Cole Strange had a second-round grade. Cole Strange, the guy, started 40-plus games at UC Chattanooga. Boy had one start at center at UC Chattanooga. So he worked for the shotgun snap. They had a chance to be maybe down the road a guy to help you at center, but he's going to be a guard. So, yeah, you can say it's a reach based on what the number was in terms of the grade.
What the fuck?
One of the best non-1A players coming into this draft.
That is the worst pick I can ever remember in a first round. That is the worst pick. Like, I remember
Would
when
you say
the
that is
Seahawks
a-
took Rashad Penny at 17 overall. That is worse.
Would you say that is a strange pick?
Oh my god. It's not strange. It's fucking terrible. Oh my god.
Oh my god! I don't even care who they pick. That's so funny.
The Kansas City Chiefs select George Karlaftis, defensive end, Purdue.
I love this story. Born and lived in Greece until he was 13, he was on the Greek national water polo team. Had a terrific.
Literally, okay, so I've been doing the PFF mock drafts on my phone. I've been taking Cole Strange with the 85th pick. Like the 85th pick. 2 whole ass rounds later. That is the worst pick. Worst pick I've ever seen in a first round. Like
well,
that is
no. I mean that's. I mean you're definitely in the moment. I bet we could have a bunch of worse picks taken in the first round, especially also ones that weren't 29th or much higher than that. However, though,
but Andrew Booth Jr. is right there. You have George Karlaftis. Like, how the fuck do you pick Cole Strange?
You have George Pickens, who also
George Pickens, Nakobe Dean, Arnold Ebiketie. Like, he's not even the best offensive lineman on the board. You still have Abraham Lucas, the tackle. Bernard Raymond is still on the board.
Yeah, that's the thing for me is you could have gotten Cole Strange in the second round. That's my thing. That's my I hope he pans out. I hope he has a great career, but I think you could have gotten much better value.
You could have gotten much better
pick.
players. Like, it doesn't even matter about value at this point. Kyler Gordon is a better player. Sky Moore, Christian Watson. Draft Desmond Ridder. That's better. Like,
no, not Desmond Ridder. All right, I'll cut you off there. Desmond Ridder. That's a no. That's a no.
They didn't even take a guy that's on the ESPN top 25 prospects, like, available. That's how bad of a pick that was. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Who the fuck approved that? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Like, I'm literally thinking,
welcome to the club, my man.
Bill Belichick is senile and needs to be put in a home. That's the best. Like, that is probably the most logical explanation there. Like,
That's
how do you?
I mean,
That is such a fucking horrendous pick. That is some of the worst drafting I've ever seen.
well, you did get at least a couple picks out of it from Kansas City. For me, I don't know. I just found out that Cole Strange existed. If I'm being completely honest, I think that you could. The issue for me not is that the fact that you picked him. It's just the fact that where you picked him. I think picking him 29th overall in the draft, even though he is a freak, it looks like he's a freak of nature, 6'5", 320. Seems like he's going to fit really well. I think you could have picked him at the 60th pick, in my opinion. So that to me is the issue, not just the fact that you picked him. I think a lot of the upset
Okay.
that you could have addressed that secondary as we had talked about, but it's. I mean, there's going to be question marks, obviously, but I feel like Andrew Booth Jr. could have come in from day one and competed and been an improvement on what you guys had.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm done. I don't know. You literally, okay. Like, you didn't even fill a need. Like, O-line was a somewhat need. Like, you needed to add depth at O-line. Depth. Like maybe a fifth and a seventh. That's all you had to do. Just draft a couple late round guys. You need corners. You need wide receivers. You need to help the front fucking seven. Like, I don't even know. I don't know what to say. Like, that was horrendous. That is horrendous coaching, horrendous general managing. Like, that is just disgusting. All right. George Karlaftis went to the Kansas City Chiefs at 31 or 30.
Yeah. I would say it's interesting that the Chiefs didn't. Well, I take that back. I don't find it surprising that they didn't address the receiver position because they addressed that a lot in the offseason by adding a lot of talent. I think Tyreek Hill is so good that they were surprised they didn't like throw in a comparable piece to him. But I think they addressed a lot of needs on the defensive side of the ball, which they needed to address if they want to be competitive in this AFC conference. Not just their division, but their conference, which is absolutely loaded with talent. And they're going to need to get after some guys. And I think both Trent McDuffie and then now George Karlaftis as their edge rusher, I think is going to be some of the top. We're good picks in the time being, and I do like to trade up. So, but yeah, I think we see the Bengals pick is in now. What do you think the Bengals are going to be picking here?
What the Patriots should have done.
Andrew Booth Jr.
Yeah,
I think so as well. Andrew Booth Jr., maybe Lewis Cine or Cine. Sorry, I keep pronouncing his name incorrectly, but yeah, for me, I think they're going secondary, whichever secondary that they think is most appropriate for their needs.
Yeah, and it is coming on live now. I'm going to turn the TV on. If I can press the fucking button.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals select Jackson Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I keep forgetting his name, but yeah, I like Jackson Hill. I think that's absolutely what a need it's absolutely something that they need. And so
Andrew Booth Jr. is going next though to Minnesota. They have to take it. They need a corner.
Kyler Gordon could also be going there. I think potentially Lewis Cine as well. But yeah,
Andrew Booth Jr. is the best one.
It's definitely secondary. It's most definitely secondary. So yeah, the pick is in already. So they're going to give it a minute here. Oh man, but wow, what a first round. Absolutely insane.
I'm speechless.
I think myself and all of our viewers can tell. I will say there is only one name that we did not mention at all during any of our mock drafts. And your team picked him. Yeah, and your team picked him. Yeah, so I can honestly say, we picked Kendon Green at some point. We picked Jahan Dotson at some point. We talked about him at least. I think we mentioned Quay Walker. I don't think we ever picked Quay Walker, but everyone knew of his name. Literally, Cole Strange is the only guy that we've never, ever talked about at any point. And congratulations. I mean, what a draft, what an event. I mean, this has been absolutely crazy. This whole draft. I mean, this bottom 2/3 of my sheet are just filled with highlighters of just highlighting trade. Yeah. Absolutely insane amount. So much has changed within the past 2 hours. Marquis Brown going to the Cardinals, AJ Brown going to the Eagles. One of those trades we really like for the receiving team, and it's just absolutely insane. I mean, very curious to see. This draft is going to be one that is definitely we're going to look back a couple years from now, and we're going to be regrading this draft to see how everyone did. And I know already your opinion on the Patriots right now, but we'll have to see if Cole Strange is going to be one of the top.
He better be a Pro Bowler his first year.
No, well, I mean that's a lot. I mean, I don't even think Penei Sewell was a Pro Bowler his first year. But
to take a guard at 29.
No,
It better be a Pro Bowler his first year.
I understand the frustration. I think that's unrealistic, but I do agree that I think that is a complete stretch to take him that early when they could go get someone else. But
Delusional Patriots fan is back in the comments. I'm so upset. No, it's 100% the worst. Dean, Booth, Karloftis, what the hell are we doing? There is not one Patriots fan that is happy about this. I was 1,000% against that, but whoever made that pick shouldn't be allowed to make picks anymore. Like, Booth was right there, and you took a third-round O lineman. Even if he turns out to be Hall of Fame, it is still a terrible pick. Are we a poverty franchise now? Fuck New England. F. New England gets an F.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, because that's the thing. It's like nothing against for me as the outsider looking in and delusional Patriots fan. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah.
But for me, it is why take him so early? End of second round. Okay, I can understand.
Yeah.
End of first round.
John Mechie. Take John Mechie. That is a better pick. That at least fills a need. Like, oh my God, the Vikings are about to pick. Hold on. Well, okay, we can talk for a second. They're still looking at Boba Fett with a Viking thing on his helmet.
Oh, did you see that there? Yeah, that's kind of cool looking.
But like, you had Karloftis and Andrew Booth right there. Like, I don't understand how you look at that and then you're like, I'm going to take the guard, the easiest position on the offensive line to fill when you already have three guys in the building that can play it. And you have no top-level corners. You have no top-level wide receivers. You have no starting caliber linebackers.
Yeah.
Lewis Seen. All right. So to close out the first round, the Vikings select Lewis Seen, the safety out of Georgia. Very versatile guy. I do like that pick for them. That is a good pick.
Yeah. That one kind of fit the bill.
Yeah. Oh, you there? Did you freeze? Yeah, delusional Patriots fan. While Tyler regains his connection, I heard the pick and I instantly had the flashbacks to like those Impractical Jokers memes of like them like saying something in the microphone and like, you won't take Cole Strange with the 29th overall pick, and then like them doing it and then them all falling on the ground. Like it's a fucking joke. It's a joke. Like that is just absurd. Like I'm blown away at the stupidity. How do these guys get paid money for this?
Oh,
hey,
sorry about that. But I was just looking. I was saying, I can't believe it. So 5 Georgia defensive players were taken in the first round. Think about that. That's insane.
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So,
and you still have Nakobe Dean, Darion Kendrick, Channing Tindall.
Yeah.
Am I missing anybody?
I'm sure you are. I'm trying to remember myself.
Yeah, and then you still have Jamari Salyer, the tackle/guard, who the Patriots will probably trade up for and draft in the second round. And then not Darion Kendrick, George Pickens, and then Dalvin Cook's little brother.
Dalvin Cook Jr.?
No, Dalvin Cook's brother.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but that's what still is absolutely insane. Oh yeah, they're talking about it right now. So
Yeah.
5 defensive players. It's absolutely insane. I mean, what a crazy first round. The Falcons really started it with taking that receiver, Drake London of USC. I like that pick. I think it's going to be a good pick.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. I'm not a fortune teller. I hope it's a good pick. But every pick in the top 10, I agree with. I like. I think it's going to be good. And then every pick after that, from 11 on, it's not that I disagree with, but man, it got crazy first round of this draft. So many trades, so many people chasing these receivers, chasing certain players that they like, trading major receiver names such as AJ Brown going to the Philadelphia Eagles from the Tennessee Titans. I mean, this is going to be a draft night that I remember for a very long time, and I think that everyone's going to talk about. And that's actually, and I'll go a little bit deeper on that as well, because this was a draft like everyone was talking about, and it was going to be a big one. But this is one, a lot of not mediocre players, but players with some question marks. A lot of players with question marks. This made this draft and how the teams went about this draft made it extremely interesting with all the trades, and a lot of future evaluation will be going into this draft and on which teams will be celebrating Super Bowls and which teams will be drafting first overall.
New England is definitely moving up towards first overall after tonight.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a crazy night of football. I cannot believe how active it got after the 10th pick. It blew up. I think 8 of the next 11 picks were traded. Or teams either trading up or trading back with teams, just depending on how that worked out. But it was nuts. It was nuts. So I guess I would say we could do winners and losers, but we know who the losers are of tonight. Who is your final winner for the night?
I got to go with the Jets. I mean, you address all parts of. I mean, essentially all parts of the team, and then they're picking, I think, again here in a couple picks, if I'm not mistaken. I know they traded.
They traded up. They still have one. They still
have one more left, so they can address even the offensive line. If they want, they could potentially address. Now they want to address running back. They did that with Michael Carter, but I mean, they address safety. They address receiver, and then they also address the pass rushing side of the ball. So, I mean, they can go with best player available for sure, based off what needs they want. I mean, so it's going to be that to me is the team that is number one. If not, then Philly's a close second.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think that the Jets definitely won. To get Garrett Wilson, Ahmad Gardner, and Jermaine Johnson, I think those are going to be 3 day one starters for them that are going to come in and make an instant impact. And in that division, I mean, I think the Jets and the Patriots are now on the same level in terms of talent. And we'll see how things go throughout the rest of the weekend. But I right now, and granted, I'm still definitely a little emotional after the shittiest pick I've ever seen. But Jets and Patriots are 3 and 4, and I don't know who is 3 and 4. So,
yeah.
So yeah. But I think the Jets definitely won, and they're going to have a lot of young talent that's going to grow and become pretty good. So.
Yeah. So, it's going to be fun to see this offseason, see the training camp, then see these rookies develop into the professional athletes that we hope they can all become.
Yeah. But I think that is going to wrap up our draft live stream, unless you have anything else that you want to add.
No, I got nothing else. I think I'm going to go watch some hockey.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Delusional Patriots fan, we appreciate you showing up and writing in the comments. You did leave a few other comments I did not see. Have you seen the schedule? We are picking top 10 in 2023. Lion for the winner. New England is the biggest loser. New England ignored all of its needs. Oh yeah, Jets win. So we appreciate you joining and leaving a bunch of comments for us to read. And I don't think we're going live for the rest of the draft. So if you guys want to catch up with us and catch our post-draft reviews, we would be more than happy to see you guys over there. And other than that, I think we'll catch you guys next time.